Welcome everybody to the Ring Generals podcast. My name is Nick Nenad. Alongside me is Eric.
What's happening?
And of course the RKJ man.
Let's talk that talk, y'all. Look
Guys, it is SummerSlam season.
Yes, sir.
It's NXT TakeOver season, and we got a lot to talk about on this podcast.
It's stacked.
Exactly. We're going to be predicting SummerSlam 2018 live from Brooklyn. We're not live from Brooklyn, but
that'd be cool.
The pay-per-view is from. I got a little Michael Cole on me right there. I got too excited.
That'd be cool though if we were over there, close by.
That would be. Except we wouldn't be able to get in the building.
All SmackDown's the one bringing this pay-per-view. Raw ain't bringing.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, RKJ man.
I like that they added Lynch and Flair to that women's match for the title.
Are we
getting that a lot more important?
Are we getting that match at Evolution?
Well, we're getting a triple threat match at SummerSlam, so you don't gotta wait for Evolution.
All right. Well, let's talk that talk, man. But it started off kind of bad this week with the passing of Jim Anvil Neidhart. Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace.
And,
rest in peace.
I know,
Jim.
Nick. Me and you were talking a little bit about this yesterday on the phone, and I was saying how with all these wrestlers dying, I just think there needs to be a change made in the way the schedules are for these wrestlers, because I think a lot of the times, especially when you see these wrestlers back in the day, they were wrestling so many days on the road that they had no time to spend with their family. They had no time to really develop important relationships with people. So, at the end of the day, they turned to alcohol, they turned to drugs, they did other things that hurt them. And, it came back to haunt them later on in their life. That's why we're having so many wrestlers die young. I think we should change the schedule of these WWE performers and performers in general. I think, you should have something where there's an off season or there's a staggered schedule. What y'all think?
I definitely agree with the staggered schedule thing. I actually like the way Randy Orton performs every single year. It seems like he only wrestles about 8 months out of the year. He gets a break, whether it's an injury or whatever.
It's mostly the guys who've been there for a long time who've been taking some time off for themselves, but not the new guys.
Well, it is tough. It is tough though, because AJ Styles being the WWE champion and stuff like that, he can't get time off. You can't give the champions time off.
You can take them off some house shows, though. You can put them on the TVs. You can put them obviously on the pay-per-views. You can take them off 1 or 2 house shows a week, so he can spend more time with his family.
Spending more time with your family is not what you're talking about. You're talking about drugs and alcohol because people are not being able to deal with.
But if you spent more time with your family and you had an opportunity to be with the ones you loved, you wouldn't be so lonely, thus turning towards drugs and alcohol abuse.
Fair point.
So,
but see here, this is a slippery slope with that, is that live events, one of the main reasons they draw is if there are big time superstars. Nobody wants to go to a house show and watch Baron Corbin, for example.
Versus Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, and nobody wants to go watch Drew Gulak wrestle at a house show. They want to watch AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, all of these guys. So that's the hard part. I think it'd be more, there's never going to be an off season for wrestling because why would you want, I don't want to have 3 months without wrestling. I don't want to have to watch, wait for that.
There won't be an off season for wrestling due to these new TV deals too. These TV deals are massive and they pretty much promise Fox Network, WWE, that they can do 52 weeks of fresh content every week, which is unheard of in television, so.
Exactly the point. It's one of the reasons.
Something Dave Meltzer talked about.
Exactly. It's one of the reasons I have become a wrestling fan, because when the NFL season is not here, like it's been the last 5 months, there's wrestling. When the MLB season gets a little staggered and it's not as fun to watch, there's wrestling every Monday and Tuesday, and then
there's always something to look forward to watch
on Sunday. Exactly, and wrestling is a way. It's just a way I enjoy my life. It's entertainment that I can rely on every single week.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if a guy isn't on the show. Now, I don't want to see AJ Styles take 2 months off, but I'm not going to complain because when he comes back, it's going to be even more exciting.
There's also other guys out there that keep our attention, basically. There are also other wrestlers out there who I want to say take the spot, but also entertain us for as long as AJ Styles is taking some time off. If it's injury, and I totally understand it. Sometimes also maybe they don't have anything else planned for some of these wrestlers as far as booking goes.
Yeah, and
also got to take that in consideration too. because if these guys are saying, "Hey, look, we don't have anything booked for you, so we're going to give you some time off."
And you can look at
That's
that
a very good point, Eric.
and
Yeah.
say creatively, you can find a way to get these guys fresh again. If they've been in a rut from a creative standpoint, you can say, hey, look, go take some time off. Go think of some things that will work for us. Come back to us when you're fresh, when your
Exactly.
mind's fresh, and we'll work from there.
Yeah, but
You know what happens?
how often in most of our jobs do we just get 3 weeks to a month off? Never.
Never.
Very
Never,
rarely.
right?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you get vacation time. I get vacation
But that's
time.
like
at my
one
job.
get
that's,
benefits, you know?
That's one vacation. A wrestler getting, although they do work, there's more travel. Obviously, they are working more in a sense. Telling the guy, hey, take next month off, and it's going to benefit you in the end. It's not just because we don't want to pay you or whatever. Take the time off. Now you get to, like you said, spend time with your family, do whatever you want, relax, come up with some good ideas, and then when you come back, people are more apt to watching you because they're like, oh, we haven't seen that guy in a month. Right?
Right.
Look what happened with Dean Ambrose. I mean,
Yes.
the crowd was super hyped
Oh,
when
yeah.
Ambrose came back on Monday Night Raw.
Greensboro, North Carolina was jacked.
Yeah.
Although the last 2 weeks they've been chanting for him, but nonetheless, he came back and the
pop.
crowd was super hyped. And anytime
Yeah.
you're aligned with Seth Rollins, you're gonna, your hype is even going to be more.
It's big,
But
yeah.
look what that did to him. Now that was a serious shoulder injury. This is not him taking time off.
No, yeah, definitely.
But I believe the last 2 months, because creatively they didn't have the best plan for him, they kind of just let him sit there and do all that stuff, and then he comes back, and now he's aligned with Rollins, and we'll see what happens with that.
A
But
heel turn, baby.
maybe, possibly,
Maybe.
we'll see. Yeah,
to
we'll-
spice up the character in a way, or the storyline. you know?
exactly. We'll see. And a lot of this, I believe, depends on if Roman wins the title and stuff like that, because you have the Shield guys all back. So there's a lot to talk about that, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We'll get to that in a second. I agree with you. Guys should have more time off, but it has to be smart. Not everyone just is going to get a designated 2 months off. If AJ Styles is the champion for a full year, he's not getting time off. I'm sorry. You're the champion. You need to be at all the live event shows. If you don't want to be a champion, take the strap off your belt and take your time off.
Like
Hi, Brock Lesnar. Hi, Brock
There
Lesnar.
you
What's
go.
up, Brock?
Yeah, well, Brock's different because Brock has a contract that essentially lets him do whatever he wants. I
Yeah.
mean, that stuff they talk about
limited
on
amount
TV
of dates that
is
he's a part of Raw.
yeah, not 80% true with him. So, but it's different for guys like Rollins and Styles who are wrestling every single
Full
night,
time.
doing things. Roman Reigns as well.
He
Those three
definitely
guys.
needs to take some time off.
Roman Reigns.
That boy needs to take some time off for a while.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the
I-
hate, the Roman Reigns hate though. It's not a real.
It's not the Roman Reigns hate. It's more of we see this guy on our television
but we
screens
see Seth Rollins and AJ Styles every
week,
single week. It's just because you don't like
But
him.
they're pushed down. He's pushed down our throats. Has Seth Rollins and AJ Styles main event at WrestleMania 4 times in the past 4 years?
Well, no, but it's a booking decision. It's not Roman Reigns' character still.
We'll-
It's
we'll
because
try
they
to-
keep booking. We can talk about this all the time, though. It's not the point.
We'll try to look at it this way. If they're really pushing Roman Reigns to a point where we have to get used to him, also WWE's got to be smart with this, because if they're willing to do that, they're going to burn him out. All right, they're going to burn
I
him
mean, they
out.
already have burnt him out.
Yeah.
Burnt him out massively.
So like CM Punk, that's another reason why he left the company. I'm pretty sure other guys, hopefully, they do the same thing for Daniel Bryan to try not to push him like he used to.
To
they
be
used
honest, Daniel Bryan hasn't wrestled for 3 years. He should wrestle every single night for the
No.
next 4 years.
Daniel
Just wrestle
Bryan.
smart.
I want to see Daniel Bryan
wrestle
every
smart,
night.
not wrestle recklessly. you
Well,
know?
yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, though. You can't wrestle like a pussy. I'm just saying, like,
Oh, you can't wrestle
if
like the
you're
Miz.
if you're clear,
You can't wrestle
coward.
like the Miz.
yeah, exactly.
You wrestle
No.
like a coward.
Very good example. Very example. But no, I mean, you gotta do it. If you're cleared, you're cleared. You don't take. You maybe not land on your head, but you're not gonna change your move set to where you become a technician. You're boring. That's just not what's gonna happen. But I do think the guys that aren't champions and aren't maybe the top of the line guys should think
wrestle.
about. Hey, let me get a month off. That's all you really need. A month off. You come back. You do get 3 days off every week. It's not like they're on the road every single day.
It's not as
every
bad as
week.
what it used to be with
Exactly.
Jim Cornette
Correct.
and them.
Correct. Exactly. It's changed, and the drug policy has changed. If you're in the company, you can't do drugs anymore. Those guys back in the day, you hear the stories from the 90s and 80s, were doing
And the
essentially
70s.
whatever the hell they wanted, and then would go out and wrestle. I mean, half of them drank before they went out to the match, or were doing pop
Yeah.
pills.
I
I.e.
mean-
Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Swag surfing drunk.
Anybody in WCW.
I
Anybody
remember-
at WCW.
I remember Eddie Guerrero. He used to say that when he
Eddie
was,
Guerrero, yeah.
I remember when he used to wrestle. This is right after he left the company due to his alcohol and drug
Leftwich company.
abuse. He said that
WWE?
a lot WWF in 2001, and then coming back to 2002.
Okay.
So he was talking about how being a wrestler on the road, it's hard because a lot of people, what they don't know is that we only get 2 hours of sleep. And what happens is that they got to go fly, come back, land, and they go straight to the gym, work out, and then grab something to eat. Or sometimes they can't get anything else to eat. And so they would have to go straight to the building, work that night, and then get some sleep, maybe for like an hour or 2 hours, and then board the plane and then go to the next town.
See, the problem with that though
Yeah.
is if you're going to do this lifestyle, you got to figure out a way to fall
yeah.
asleep on the plane and maybe take a nap at the
You
arena
gotta-
before the show. Like that seems like a Eddie Guerrero has like or had
Time management issues.
exactly. Yeah, that doesn't.
this
I mean,
is before the brand
2 hours.
splits.
2 hours of
Yeah.
sleep seems like that's a personal problem, not like every other wrestler's.
Well, that
dealing with
wasn't.
that.
That was just the travel.
Well, Eric,
And probably because
Yeah.
you popped up on pills all night, you can't
Oh,
even
yeah.
go to sleep.
That was
Eric,
the travel, yeah.
Now, I know you were going to say this is before the brand split, but actually, after the brand split, the number of live events increased in that first initial
Makes sense.
brand
It
split.
makes sense.
So
Yeah, it does make sense.
Then you have to deal with all those things, because the WWE had a brand split. It was like, oh, we're going to make competition, make things fresh, but we can also add more live events. So, I mean, that's the thing now where you've got to watch that. You've got to watch your time and how you do things. It's all of us in our personal lives. We're very busy and we have to manage our time. But in my opinion, though, when it comes to these wrestlers, man, you got to find a way, man, to like do something with your life and be healthier with your lifestyle. Like I'm seeing a lot more wrestlers do CrossFit now. I'm seeing a lot more wrestlers eating healthier now. Wrestlers back in the day, they weren't
They weren't
eating healthier.
They act
They
like
were,
crap, dude.
they ate like crap. They weren't really exercising as much as they should have been, and like they were living life dangerously. So I think that plays a part too in it. Like if you are more focused in how I treat my body and how I present myself, then guess what? You're going to be more concerned about that than going out and partying every night and drinking and getting high and smoking weed and all this stuff and doing all these things that could eventually lead to your downfall, like we've seen so many times in wrestling.
So many times.
Oh
Yeah, it's just sad, man.
I know.
I'm tired of seeing it. And I think we need to do something about it, because if we don't do something about it, every single legend will be dead in the next 2 years.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, what is WWE changing their current schedule going to do for the 60-year-olds? Nothing.
nothing now.
Zero.
But I'm saying,
But
what
look- but
are
who-
you going to do for your future? This is about your future.
Who recently has gone off the deep end, or have we heard there's substance abuse problems that's on the current roster that's a star?
I
Nobody.
can't think of anybody
Exactly.
right now.
So they're doing it. It's changed, and like you said,
But maybe
they're
they've covered
changing.
it up.
There's changing their diets. It's kind of hard to cover our stuff up now with social media. I mean, look how much stuff gets out now, right?
It's mostly coming from the ones who are not employed with the WWE, and most of the guys who left wrestling, those are the guys who are kind of dealing with it.
The closest I can think is Enzo, but he didn't really have a substance
That's more of
abuse
a-
problem. He was just more of an ass.
That was more of a chick lied about
Yeah.
what he did. Probably.
Yeah.
But no. I also think the style that wrestling has turned into now, the more of like the high flying wrestling, you can't do that if you're drinking 8 beers a night. Okay, you're just eventually not going to be able to do that. So. I think that has also changed people. They go, okay, well, if I want to become a top performer and I want these diehard fans to like me, I have to be in tip-top athletic shape, and I have to be able to perform at my highest every single night. So I think it has changed. I understand your point. Absolutely. I think WWE has made changes, but they could even increase changes with the schedule. But there's nothing we really can do
probably gonna
about
take some
these
time.
guys. Maybe you could extend an olive branch and help guys out like they did Scott Hall. They helped out Scott
That's
Hall.
what I think they're doing, and they should continuously do that. Like Ric Flair. Like they did that ultimately with Ric Flair. I think, honestly, to be honest with you, I'm surprised Ric Flair is still living.
Well, I
I'm
think
being very
he's
honest
even
with you.
admitted that too. Like he was still drinking and styling and profiling when he was like 66 years old.
And he shouldn't be doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like
his time has passed.
His time has passed, man. Like, give it
time
up
to
to
let
the Young
that
Bucks. Like,
Would you
come
say
on,
give it
man.
up to the Young Bucks?
Give it up to the Young Bucks. Figuratively and literally. Like, 'cause give it up, man. Because, like, good grief. Like, I be thinking, like, sometimes, like, Death Door be coming at him, and he just turns around and just woos at him, and then he's like, okay, I'll let you live another year.
He probably
right?
can barely do that now.
It's funny.
man.
It's when he had his initial health scare recently. His daughter was talking about how he would just like he didn't even remember who she was.
Charlotte, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Really?
he didn't even know her name. Like he didn't even realize that was his daughter. He would just go around just woo woo. Like that's just all he was doing. It's just wooing. Just in a cane, just wooing everywhere. Oh man, it's just sad, man. Because when you fall from grace, and when you're not popular anymore, when you're not famous anymore, that really does something to your psyche, and you're not getting the money that you used to make. That does something to your psyche too. So I think these wrestlers also need to find a way to have an outside activity to make sure that they can supplement their lives. It's just like with me and my job. I have this podcast to supplement my lives. I have my other outside interests, so that keeps me focused on my job, but it also doesn't make me too focused on my job. Whereas, you have Xavier Woods. He has his video gaming and whatnot, up, down, down. And, of course, you have his wrestling with the New Day. So, I mean, if you have those things in your life and you're doing multiple things as you're doing the main thing for your source of income, it makes your life so much easier, and you have that freedom and that time where you don't look for outside activities and outside interests just because you're so focused into that one job that's making your income.
Almost like a backup
Makes
plan.
sense.
Yeah, almost like a backup plan for these wrestlers. If wrestling fails, they always got something to fall back on,
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar has the UFC and hunting.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, for example, there you go. But I don't know. I mean, it's. I think there's some obviously self responsibility with these guys. I mean, like guys like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe that don't have other outside interests. I mean, I can't think of one right now.
AJ Styles loves to game. He's a video gamer.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
no, but it's not like he's Xavier Woods. He has Chandler. He's doing it every week, or he has a reality TV show like The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of a wrestler, and so is Samoa Joe. That's their thing, right? You know them as professional wrestlers. There's a lot of people that know Xavier Woods as a professional gamer and have no idea he wrestles. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a, this self responsibility, but WWE should help out these older dudes as well. But I think that generation is close to end. Like that generation of the heavy drinkers is close to.
They're dying off, man.
Well, they're dying off, but they're also getting older anyways. So it's almost time. I don't mean to be morbid about it, but it's almost time for them to start dying off. Like Ric Flair is very old. He's getting old. There's a lot of people that die in their 70s and 80s. So if Ric Flair dies in the next 5 years, I'm not going to be super surprised as I was with the Anvil, or obviously like the crazy ones like Guerrero and others. So, it's a good topic. It's a good topic to bring up, and that's why I wanted you. That's why I told you on the phone. I didn't want to talk to you on the phone about it. I want to talk to you about the podcast. But
We always do things on the podcast, man.
exactly. You got to save some of the good discussion for the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So switch SummerSlam a little bit. What are you guys' thoughts about this build for SummerSlam?
Well, I'll start. I'm going to agree with Ryan. The SmackDown.
He hasn't said anything yet, though.
Well, we were talking about that a little bit earlier today.
I got you in the beginning.
But, in the beginning. So, SmackDown, the matches for SmackDown look a lot superior than the ones on Raw. I can only point out maybe like one or two matches from Raw that I'm okay or excited about.
Which ones are those?
For Raw, I'm going to go with Rousey and Alexa Bliss. I'm going to have to go with that one. And also, I'm going to have to go with the other one. You know what?
What's the other one?
For Raw, it should have not been the kickoff show. It should have been the B Team versus Dash Wilder and what's his face again?
That's Scott Dawson.
By the way, why the hell they changed the B Team's theme song music?
I do not know.
I don't know. I like the other one.
It's because I told Alfred, because Alfred was at Greensboro, and I was like, why they change his music? And he was like, and we didn't know. And I guessed, I was like, it's probably because they were getting over. They were probably getting over naturally and organically because they had a cool theme song. So they was like, let's just change it to something.
God.
It was a cool theme song, man. I
Yeah, it
loved
was-
it.
Hey, man, now I can use that as my theme song. Now, since I'm not using it though.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
that's
I always
good.
do when
Yeah.
when guys lose their theme songs. I go, if ever I'm a wrestler, I could use this theme song.
I just
Kinda
don't
like
get.
Kurt Angle
yeah.
did to the Patriot.
I just don't get why it's on the kickoff show. I mean, it looks like there was like some steam going for the tag team division or the tag team match, but I don't get why they would put it on the kickoff show.
Because Vince McMahon doesn't like tag team wrestling. Everybody and their mom knows this. Everybody and their mom knows this. Vince McMahon hates tag team wrestling, which is why I don't want the Young Bucks going to the WWE.
Okay, but this is what I like to ask people though. What else would you put on the pre-show instead of that?
I'd rather put the 205 live match there.
Fair.
Wait a minute, there's a 205. Isn't it 205
Yeah,
live
Cedric
match?
Alexander and Drew
That is
Gallagher.
a pre-show.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That is a
No,
pre-show
look,
match.
it doesn't say pre-show. Oh, it is a pre-show
It's
match.
a pre-show match, bro.
So again, then what other match would you put on? That already is on the pre-show. See?
What's another match that?
Bludgeon Brothers
Like, he
versus
already-
the
yeah.
New Day.
No, that's not.
No, that should be
That's
in the,
like that,
Nah,
dude, that's
man.
the Wyatt family versus the New Day. What are you talking about?
Nah,
Did you see
man.
the match they had on SmackDown with the bar? You're
Wait,
telling me that's
they,
not
they
gonna
don't have
be-
anything planned
I
for
don't-
Elias, right?
They got-
Why is he?
Elias
they
is
don't have
just
anything-
roaming somewhere
Why doesn't
around.
he have a match with Bobby Lashley?
Well,
though?
put him in the kickoff show. I'd rather
because
put
that
in the
match
kickoff
would
show.
suck.
But that match isn't even on the card yet, though. See, this is the problem. He's complaining over here, but then he doesn't have a fix for it. You just don't put them on
Well-
the pre-show, but then there's too many good matches on the card. That's why they're on the pre-show.
No, look.
It's like the ninth best match.
205, I'll put on the pre-show. All
They
right?
already are on the pre-show.
Yeah,
They already
all
are.
I'd rather put them there. All
And
right,
when are we
keep-
going to give some credibility
Put
to
Finn
205
Balor and
Live?
Baron Corbin on the pre-show.
Put that on the
Yeah,
pre-show.
put 'em on.
I'm
Yeah, right,
sick
yeah.
and tired of this feud and
Baron
storyline.
Corbin and you're
By the way-
small
by
and
the way-
I do my hands like this anytime I
Hey,
talk.
what about Hardy and Nakamura?
No,
No, because I think there's going to be some Randy Orton involvement.
Why
in
is
that.
Randy Orton not even in the match?
Because Randy Orton,
That's a good question.
by the way, I really like this Randy Orton thing.
Like this little creepy
really like. He just is like, I'm going to be violent. No one's going to want to watch. He again, a product of taking time off, and obviously you have the heel turn when he comes back. Randy Orton finds a way to somehow get over with the crowd every single time he
Yeah.
comes back. It's
Randy
one of the
Orton loves-
reasons he's going to be, he's one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Randy
Right.
Orton likes to do other things. I'm going to talk about you, Randy, and Ryan Rants.
Oh,
right.
yes. Okay, that's what that's going to tell
we,
you.
we need to have a conversation.
But
So,
yes,
yeah.
so the card is stacked though, and I agree with you that match is going to be good. Although I'm not a big fan of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel's wrestling ability compared to
Yeah.
like Wilder and Dawson.
Probably the only thing that got going is just that they've been winning matches.
And they have charisma, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I mean, well, and this is probably another reason why they're on the pre-show. That they probably will win that match just based on the fact that they want to keep that win. There's going to be a big tag team that comes in and beats them and breaks that
AOP.
streak. Probably. I mean, they should, right? AOP is probably the best tag team on the roster.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, AOP is stuck with freaking Titus O'Neil and what's the old boy's name again? I forgot his name. He's so irrelevant.
He's the guy
I
with the
forgot-
green
Apollo.
shorts.
Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews.
He's so
So
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
I forgot his name. And Bobby Roode. What happened to
Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley.
Bobby Roode needs
No,
to.
that
see,
should
this
be-
is
Can
this
Bobby
is,
Roode please, God, go back to NXT, man? Because 3 years ago, this dude, 2
He's
years
too
ago,
old to go back to
this
NXT.
dude was going to NXT. He came out in the glorious chant, man, and he came
Oh,
down
yeah.
from the heavens. It was just beautiful.
What do you guys think about Drew McIntyre's comments before Rollins came out about I thought it was a subtle call out of these guys that come up to Raw and SmackDown and don't do anything and try to keep their same characters.
But that's kind of been the whole thing
Yeah.
for the whole entire. That's kind of been his thing. Like, it's not what it used to be anymore back when I was here. So actually, if you look at the
don't you think that was a subtle call out of like the
call,
revival?
subtle.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? I don't even know how to speak
Subtle.
English. Hey, I don't want to hear you talk, man. You screw up words half the time we're on this podcast.
I've been doing good today.
Blasphemous.
Well,
just
I make blasphemous statements all the time. You know, I
If-
love saying
if-
some
if
blasphemous
any-
shit.
What do you guys think about the match between Strowman and Kevin Owens again?
I love this because they put the Money in the Bank
Yes,
briefcase
that's
on
also-
the line.
that's cool.
And by the way, when we're doing this, let's not predict who's going to win because we're going to do that. At
No,
the end
we're
of the
not
show.
gonna predict that. We're
But
not.
I love that
Get the
because
tallies too, Nick.
it just adds. It's like just below a title match to me.
Right.
You know, if Owens wins, that's crazy that he takes the Money in the Bank briefcase away from Braun Strowman. You know what I'm saying? It just adds stakes to a match. Anytime you could add that kind of thing. But why do I want to watch them just wrestle again? Finn Balor and Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? They added the stipulation. It's practically a title match now
Right.
between the two for the Universal title in a way. And so I love that, and I love the Strowman Owens interaction too. Owens is this kind of comedic heel character, and then Strowman obviously the monster gimmick,
Come on,
and he
man.
just keeps beating the hell out of anyone that's in his way. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the match, but I love the build for that match.
Okay.
Now, what did you guys think about this past Raw in Greensboro? Because I think
This is a. By the way, he's asking this question because we're going to get some comments from our unofficial correspondent, Alfred.
DJ Fredo!
Alfred doesn't even know he's our unofficial correspondent yet. We are announcing that today. Alfred likes to go to events when it's in the area of where he lives.
where me and him used to live.
He often gives us some details. He texts Ryan. So Ryan, what has our unofficial correspondent said about this last Raw in Greensboro, which was pretty? There was a lot of cool stuff that happened on this
The
Raw.
crowd was hype, by the way.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you be hyped? You have Ronda Rousey
Yeah.
opening the show. You have
Brock Lesnar there.
Oh, Brock Lesnar. That was a great segment.
Yeah.
Oh my
Brock
god.
Lesnar came out, and when I saw that smile on Paul Heyman's face, and I was like, Mom, wait for it, and then the music hit.
Dude,
and I was
when
like,
my mom and I were
everybody,
watching
man.
that. I had to watch Raw this morning, and my mom and I were watching that as she was eating breakfast, and we both completely got tricked by Paul Heyman. I thought
a huge swerve,
what,
dude.
I thought what he was saying was true, and then he maced him
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, you guys are kidding me, bro. Brock's gonna kill him.
yeah, and Brock Lesnar killed him, and people were cheering. All right, so Raw was in Greensboro. Alfred, real quick, he was talking about traffic, whatnot, and Alfred, I just want to let you know this: if you think traffic is bad in North Carolina, come on here to
Oh,
LA.
yeah.
Alfred,
calm
stop
down,
it.
you're-
Come on, bro.
Alfred, stop it, bro.
Like,
Come on, man.
Come on, man. All right, but he was saying how there was Wu chants, and Elias is over. People love Elias. The signs, they had signs and shirts everywhere. First
He's
of
over,
all,
but he's got no match.
He wasn't even on Raw last week, was he?
I
No,
know.
he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he was.
actually. No Way Jose got a nice little pop for his main event match. That's what Alfred said. Okay, and then he also said Renee Young got a nice pop and You Deserve It chance before Raw. So real quickly, I want to ask this
Typical.
question to you. What did you guys think about Renee Young's
She did pretty
performance? I didn't actually think it was bad, but I didn't think it was great either.
I
think-
completely agree with that.
I think she
I
was
was-
doing a little bit
Also,
more
though,
talking.
No, exactly. Also, though, you gotta think that she was probably completely thrown a curveball here, putting on the announce team. I don't think she had a lot of time to prepare.
She did. She
So
had a
I
week.
give,
they
I give her a
announced it.
solid
Yeah.
B plus only because
This is her first time
exactly.
doing it.
I probably, if she's a normal announcer
Right.
and an occasional announcer, I would give her a C for the performance. Because you're right, she didn't talk a lot. She didn't really say a lot.
And she was like, "Ooh!" after
Yeah.
every move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
honestly,
of course, you're going to have mistakes.
She's never
Yes.
done that before. I think they probably told her a couple days in advance.
They told her a
And
week in advance. She
I'll
found
give,
out a week in
I'll
advance.
give her a B plus for the performance because I believe she didn't have enough time to prepare and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, that was very interesting. That definitely threw me a curveball when I saw she was on the announce team when I watched Raw this morning. It's very cool.
I heard her announcing in NXT wasn't as good, was not very good because she used to commentate the women's matches.
You know what I do? I actually think she's probably better for WWE. Like, I think she relates more to the. I don't think she relates as well to the NXT type of the indie wrestling. I think she relates more to like more WWE stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she was talking about fashion and all this stuff on the show. I think
Right.
she's better talking about WWE because
Because it's the casual fans
Exactly.
thing,
Right.
you know. And I think Renee Young did bad? Absolutely not.
No.
But I think
But I
she
wanna hear
should've-
more of her in the
I want to
future.
hear more from her. You know, definitely in the future. And I think this is an opportunity. I would love to see more Renee Young on the Raw table. And I
put her
would
on the
love to see.
SmackDown table instead of Byron Sexton.
Actually, you know what I'd like to see? Her leading it instead of Michael Cole. Because
No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Michael
we-
Cole's the best announcer in the company by far.
well, right now he is, but how long is he gonna stay?
I don't know.
Oh, who do you think? Oh, my bad. It's Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro Ronaldo. He'd be pretty good.
You're right. I forgot. Well, he's not. He's NXT though. He's not coming back to WWE. I don't think. I think he's going to stick with NXT.
Too much travel for him.
Too much travel
Yeah.
and already has the issues already.
With bipolar disorder.
Bipolar
and-
disorder.
He doesn't need to be doing
Yeah.
I
that
think,
stuff.
yeah, just stick to the NXT for Mauro Ronaldo. But for Renee Young, I want to hear more from her in the future. And I'm pretty sure she's going to be announcing some of the matches calling the matches for
May I
Evolution. Evolution, maybe.
Ooh, oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I I don't know what you're gonna do with that pay per view. We'll talk about.
We'll talk about
later.
that once we get to.
I don't know
get
what you're
closer
gonna
to
do.
it.
Let's see. Oh, Michael Cole was booed. Not surprised.
Yeah.
Corey Graves got a nice pop. The beta male. I thought it would take longer for Ronda to get over with the fans, but she's super over. Also, did y'all see that bat that was flying around the ring?
No,
I
did not.
There was a bat flying around the ring, and like everybody's freaking out. Ronda was cool about it, but she's like, "Oh my god, there's a bat right over here."
Yeah, she had to be like super serious.
Yeah,
like, at that moment,
she was
too.
like, "There's a bat right here." I was a little disappointed though of Rousey in terms of that promo at the beginning with the Rousey promo. I don't know how I feel about that.
She turned Jim Neidhart's death into a way to talk shit about Alexa Bliss,
And I'm not happy about that.
It was.
I'm sick of that. I don't.
And
like
you know that
these-
wasn't Rousey's idea either.
I don't
No.
like these
You know that's coming
deaths
from the back.
I don't like these deaths being utilized. It's just as far as back
Well,
as
it's
Randy
real life
Orton.
though. I mean, if a guy dies, you can't just throw it under the bus. Unless you kill your whole family, then throw it under the bus completely.
Chris Benoit.
Unless we love us some Chris Benoit talk.
Let's talk about Chris Benoit.
They want to talk about
like when Randy Orton,
CB.
like when Randy Orton said to Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero's in hell. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
remember that.
that's different. I mean,
I
Randy's playing.
He's
the
trying to get heel. He's
and
trying to get heel hate.
What's
at
the best
time.
way to get heel? I'm gonna kick your ass, or your friend that's dead from substance abuse is in hell. That would piss me off.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, it's just for me
Trying to
personally.
get under your skin, bro.
I'm not a big fan of using the death of someone so quickly after, you know, they've passed away to further enhance the storyline. It's kind of like CM Punk and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29 when Paul Bearer died. Although that was kind of cool how, like,
Well,
as soon
Punk,
as
he tried
as soon
to,
as Undertaker
you know.
did his like tribute to Paul Bearer,
Right.
CM Punk's music started and he just came out.
That was
actually
effed up, man.
It's like, oh,
Got
that was-
booed, man.
that was actually kind of fun. I
was
actually
cool.
enjoyed that. But yeah, man, I'm not a fan of seeing that, and I'm tired of doing it. Also, they used the women's evolution in that Jim Neidhart video because it was like, oh, and his daughter who would come on would turn out to be one of the faces of the women's evolution, and I'm just like, why are we spreading
well,
propaganda?
I think, but literally,
Who tweeted that?
No, honestly though, no. Just hear me out on this. The younger fan, the younger generation, didn't know who Jim Neidhart was until Natalia came around. I didn't know who he was until Natalia came around.
Really?
Yeah. So Natalia is a big part and should be mentioned in the video because what if you do a video and don't mention Natalia about him?
I don't mind mentioning Natalia.
It's like doing a video about Ric Flair and not mentioning Charlotte.
I get it. I understand what you're talking about. They're in the business. That's his daughter. You got to mention her. I just don't like when you use propaganda. Just say, oh, and drop that whole.
I
You
get what
became
you're
one of the
saying. I agree
faces
with
of
that.
women's. Like, come on, man. Stop trying to sell us on Evolution in October
Me Too
20th.
movement.
man.
Dude, you know
Me
what?
Too movement.
Honestly, the Evolution pay-per-view might be shoved down our throats more than Roman Reigns.
Like,
It's gonna get over than Roman Reigns.
Nobody gives a shit about Roman Reigns anymore because the women, it's Evolution pay-per-view.
It's getting
thing.
over.
We're all like, let's talk shit on that now.
let's talk shit.
Yeah, that's going to be in the main event. No, for Evolution, it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus the Evolution pay-per-view at Evolution. That's what's going to
I
happen.
would love it.
Killing on live television.
Killing on live television.
Yeah.
Hey,
Domestic abuse on live television.
If women can do as many things as men, you take that F5 from Brock Lesnar.
Take those suplexes, man.
You take that F5 from Brock Lesnar. You stand right in there like a champ. Okay.
There you go.
Brock Lesnar gonna teach you how to wrestle.
Oh wow.
Okay, all right. Let's continue here. The crowd was probably the hottest for Braun and Finn versus Jinder in the KO match.
I don't blame him.
Actually, he said Braun is from a small little town about 45 minutes away from Charlotte.
Really?
So is Revival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there was a cool Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy cosplay in the crowd, and Bray Wyatt directed Matt Hardy during the commercial breaks to the cosplay.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like he's doing the delete. Alfred sent me a video of it. I couldn't see it because I have an Android. But and he's like the crowd was into the tag team
That's
match.
why you do iPhone.
Shut up. Rebby and King Maxwell were ringside. And then this is a couple of things that are really important here. Out of all the times I've seen him, Roman Reigns was booed the loudest last night. Everybody went crazy for Brock and Paul. And man, Ambrose is jacked. Alfred thinks he's poised for a heel turn at some point.
You know, I want to add to
That's
that.
great.
Yep.
That's great.
I-
unknown corresponding by Alfred.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
good
He's
stuff.
got to go to more events. I want to add to.
and Brock Lesnar slimmed down, by the way.
Yes, I did
I
see
did
that.
notice
Oh.
that. I did notice that a little bit.
Yeah, he got
Yeah, he's
I-
just training for that UFC
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, I want to add to this. When I did see Brock and Paul Heyman together, people were cheering for him, and people were chanting "one more time." It's kind of funny how Michael Cole is trying to make you feel sorry for Roman Reigns, and people are like cheering for Brock to try to F5 Roman Reigns. It was pretty cool because I don't know, man. Oh, you're showing the video?
Yeah, I'm showing pictures, man.
If
There
you're
always-
listening, you don't need to stop.
Man, our correspondent, man, he be getting some great seats, man. Like,
Exactly.
Those
yeah.
seats.
Who's hooking up Alfred with these tickets?
Want to know
Yeah.
the guy?
I don't know, man.
But
Yeah.
continue, Eric. I'm listening. I'm just looking at the pictures.
Oh, no. We can move on if you want to.
No, I did no. Just continue what you were saying.
No, that's what I just wanted to add to that.
Oh,
It was cool that Brock he came back to F5 Roman Reigns and
Yeah, it
people
was good. It was good
were-
that he showed up one more time before the pay-per-view.
But yeah, Michael Cole was making you feel sorry, to the viewers by saying,
Yeah.
how dare you do, like, you can't be doing this to Roman
It's just
Reigns.
manipulation. It's
Well,
just
I mean, what are we supposed to
manipulation.
do? What is Michael Cole supposed to do? Hey, Brock Lesnar, yeah, kick his ass. No, it's Roman's clearly the face of this match. I mean,
Also,
honestly, like it's
It's a
Brock's
huge
a complete
contrast.
asshole.
I am very pissed off that Alfred got to see Brock Lesnar before I did. Because
Oh,
he was
yeah.
supposed to show up in
On
Anaheim.
Anaheim, yeah.
And this
See-
dude showed up in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm sorry, Alfred, but
Stop hitting the table.
It was the road to WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar should have been there. He showed up in Greensboro. I'm sorry, Alfred. He should have been there. He should have been in Anaheim before Greensboro. Sorry, man.
Agree with that.
I'm
Agree with
sorry,
that.
man.
Yeah.
He should have been in there. I'm pissed off. Shout outs to my homie DJ Fredo. You can check his mixes out on SoundCloud and wherever it's Spotify, and you can follow him on Instagram.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay, I think it's time for a little Ryan rants.
Yeah. Turn
Let's
my
hear
mic
this.
on. Let's
Ryan
talk.
rants.
So earlier this week, or last week, I don't know, whichever week, they run together for me, but I hear something, I hear a story, and it just catches my attention about Randy Orton and a writer. Apparently, Randy Orton likes to do this whole thing where he likes to touch his genitalia.
Liked. Correct?
I
This
don't
is
know.
past.
He could still be doing it. But back in the day, according to a writer, he liked to touch his genitalia and then pull out his hand and force you to shake it if you were new. Now,
Oh.
I'm all okay for a
Okay.
good rib. I'm okay for a little initiation. I was in a marching band back in high school in North Carolina. Okay, one of the best marching bands in the land. We actually got to go to Obama's first inauguration, and I had to go through initiation. And funny story about that, actually, I ended up actually getting initiated in the wrong side. I was supposed to get initiated with the guys. I accidentally got initiated with the girls because I got lost. I got lost in the woods. So
now I know. Now I know what Nick's random segment's gonna be. But continue your Ryan rants.
I got lost.
Continue your
I
Ryan
got
rant.
lost in the woods. So I ended up getting initiated. So I know how it is to go through an initiation. But for you to pull down your pant, or for you to put your hands down your genitalia and shake and force somebody to shake your hand, that's on some sexual predator shit right there. Like that's on some Dateline shit, like To Catch a Predator. Because when you do that, that makes me think there's something mentally wrong with you. I know Randy Orton goes through these things where he's saying, now you can call me an apex predator and you can call me a viper, you can call me legend killer, but I got a new word for him. 2 words, sexual predator. Because that shit is just disgusting. What he does, what he did there is something that is absolutely positively disturbing. We can talk all we want to about the Me Too movement and all this stuff, but that right there is those stories right there are part of the reason why people don't get second chances when somebody accuses you, because we automatically assume that this person's doing shit, because guess what, we hear things like Randy Orton, and then also he's adding things such as pooping in somebody's bag, and he's disrespected wrestlers. How many more times are we going to hear bad things about Randy Orton? So guess what, I guess that's the reason why Randy Orton is such a good heel, because he's an asshole in real life. I'm the RKJ man, and I'm always shooting my shot for greatness.
A little bit of going after that is Randy apparently in a dark match after this most recent SmackDown went around and shook the entire crew's
Wow.
hands before his dark match main event, and he said the crew was laughing. And so,
He's the definition of a troll.
for someone,
I can
guys,
respect that,
I just
though.
want to say this. There are a lot of rumors about shit that Randy Orton did. He's talked a lot of crap on
Oh, yeah.
certain divas and people like
Oh.
that. Randy is not. He's never been in the light as like a super nice guy. Okay, we already know
No,
this.
he's had anger management. Remember before?
And he's even
Yeah.
said
I'm
it
not,
in
I mean, I'm not
his-
surprised. I mean, the guy, like you said, he apparently shit in a shoe or something like
He's
that.
shit in
A
a bag.
bag, yeah.
Shit in the bag.
in a purse. Or
Well,
in
I
some
mean-
type of bag or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A carry bag.
the one thing about this, number one, for the RKJ man to say this, it's an alleged story. It's not a for sure. They have video or audio
It's
recording. of
alleged.
this. Yes,
But come on.
No, I agree. I agree with it. But oh my gosh, go. What are those videos on YouTube that it's like the where the wrestlers, the old time wrestlers, go and just shoot the shit with that one dude? What are they called?
Kayfabe commentaries.
If you look up like 90% of the kayfabe commentaries, there's much worse stories than what Randy Orton is doing, putting
There's
his
a
hand on
lot,
his
yeah.
jug and shaking dudes' hands. It's not like he's shaking
Just
women's
go
hands.
look up New Jack.
There you go.
Just go
New
look up
Jack, Kevin Nash, RVD. Pick one of those and you're good.
No, look up New Jack. Because
Jack is a
New Jack
crazy-
told some stories that even made me want to take a shower afterwards. I was like, this is too
How is
dirty.
the real question? How is New Jack still alive?
I don't know how
don't
that
know,
man is
man.
still alive,
That
man.
dude, like, literally has done every drug in the book and has had unprotected sex with like 100 women.
Oh my God.
How is that guy alive?
He told one thing is
Talk
just
about
disgusting
immortality.
at ECW how they would like,
ECW was such a shit show.
yeah.
It's just,
Oh my God.
that is hilarious.
Just look up
This
Todd is God or
is
something.
extreme.
Yeah, Todd Scott, Todd Scott, dude. Oh,
Oh my
we should
god.
just do a podcast talking about the kayfabe commentary stories.
Holy crap.
Oh man, we gotta get him on the podcast.
New
man.
Jack?
New Jack.
No, I'm talking about
Holy
the guy
shit.
I don't want New Jack's crazy one. New Jack come in here, man.
New Jack come in here probably high as hell on coke, and then we would never be able to record, and I
No.
would be kicked out of Saddleback College. I would never. Yeah, our lives would be ruined.
Yeah.
So what were you gonna
Good
say?
man.
We get fired from.
You just said the F word.
Well, you told him where I
I
worked
work at a
at.
concert venue in Irvine.
Don't tell him where I worked at. Bleep that ish out.
Shout out to Charlie Puth last night was solid. That dude sounds exactly like he does in all his songs. Just I had to do a little quick shout out right there.
Bleep him out.
Oh.
Bleep that out, please.
Real quick.
Eric, what time was that?
Also,
We 42 minutes.
Okay, around that time, bleep that out.
real quick. I know you'll like this, Eric. Shout out to Shinedown and Godsmack. I worked a concert there, and Shinedown. Number one, we all know they've done a lot of songs as well as Godsmack for WWE. Shinedown once again sounds exactly the same as when you listen to their songs. They played the Rolled Raw theme song. They played a lot of their songs. They've been featured for a lot of the WWE pay-per-views. Fantastic performance from those guys. Shout out to them. I can always respect when people sound exactly like they do, not electronic.
Understood, yeah.
Like some of these other, some of these like pop divas and people like that.
Or rap artists like
or
Travis Scott.
Justin Bieber. Travis
Yeah.
Scott sounds terrible in real life. But shout out to them real quick. All right, it's time for Nick's random segment of the day. And Ryan, simply, I want you to explain more of that Band in the Woods story.
Whoa,
just
okay.
like, I
that's
just
that's what the random segment is. How did the RKJ man
get
initiated with a bunch of girls?
Hear this.
I
Okay,
cannot. This is probably the most anticipated story I've ever heard in my life. Go
No,
ahead.
there's much more. But I was in the marching band at the time, and I was a sophomore in high school, and we went to a remote location because that was a part of our thing in North Carolina, and the night came. And all of a sudden, it came time for initiation. Because I was wondering, I was asking, I was like, when are we getting initiated? Like, I was just that type of, like, nerdy kid that would just ask. Because I knew it was coming. So I was like, when are we getting initiated? I'm
Nothing
waiting to
wrong
get
with that.
initiated.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm waiting to get initiated, man. Like, do I have to go through, like, some crazy stuff? Like, do I have to get spanked or something? Like y'all gonna make me get butt naked and jump in the water? And, like 20 degree, like what's going on here? But basically what happened was I was going with my section because I played the trumpet. So you went with your section to get initiated as what we call a new head, okay? And if you were new, like you would go
Wait,
off.
you went out in the woods and got new head?
Damn.
I would have been in the band every year if that was happening.
Right, we're still being
I'll still be in the band. But like anyway, like it was a situation where I was there and I got lost because it was dark. It was pitch black, dark at night. It was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was running and I was like getting lost. It was like, stay with your section, stay with your section. I was like, okay, I'm trying to stay with my section, and like I dove off at one point. I got really lost. And at the one point, I found the closest person I could find. They were the girls. So I was pretty much with the freaking the dance girls and the flag girls. And so like I'm glad I actually was with them because they made the boys probably did much worse. So they were like, okay, some of you girls are gonna have to carry my little friend or deal with my little friend. So they give him a little bug. So they were like freaking out, and I was like, here, go ahead and take this. Like take this little bug and whatnot. And like they made us do like several things. Like they didn't make us do too much, and I was just like, man, this is easy. My phone did get lost. So and then thankfully the band director's son, who I'm really cool with, still to this day, he found my phone. He was like, Ryan, is this your phone? I was like, yeah, this is my phone. So he grabbed it, so I grabbed it. But it was fun, and like I got initiated and everything like that, and you know, it was good. It was a good year. Shout outs to sophomore year in high school. I learned a lot of valuable lessons, good and bad. That was year from marching band.
Eric, I want some commentary on this. Was that a disappointing end to that story?
It was. It wasn't as great as what you thought it was. That's why you can't. I
think we expected more of a.
I thought all the girls were gonna like make you strip and all this stuff.
No, man, it didn't happen. Didn't happen because you got to remember too. It's in high school and you got parents around too who are there to chaperone. So if you do something bad, you're in some major trouble.
It was high school. For some reason, I thought this was college.
Yeah, this is high school.
You would probably.
That's only in. You can only do that in college. They actually stopped doing that because somebody actually died from initiation at FAMU, I believe. FAMU is an historic black college and university, but somebody died because they were I don't know. I forgot how you say it. Initiating somebody. And so that's why I don't like joining these fraternities and sororities and stuff, all this stuff on campus, because like what's the point of getting initiated and all that stuff to get embarrassed and whatnot? Like,
it's just part of the deal.
It's part of the deal.
It's like, look at you when you're in the NFL. Baker Mayfield had to buy the whole team or had to buy all the quarterbacks in RV,
or he had to get up and sing too and announce his contract.
That's true, but I could do that. That's not hard.
Pay your dues.
Yeah, pay your dues.
I would gladly announce my $20 million signing bonus to all my teammates.
Remember, Uncle Sam took half of that. So
I mean, maybe.
He did. He already announced it.
He already announced it.
You want to say something else, Nick? Besides my story?
Yes, yes, because your story was disappointing.
I don't know why you did it.
You could have lied and
I wasn't gonna lie
and said that
why
like
would
the
I
girl
lie?
paled you in the ass or something.
Why would I lie? I'm completely transparent on this podcast, man.
Okay, so
right,
I went.
try to be truthful,
one of the reasons we didn't do a podcast last week, although it makes more sense we did a podcast this week.
Did you almost die up in the woods?
I went to a camping trip for 6 days, 2,000 miles driving. Went to the Santa Cruz Mountains, went up to the giant redwoods, beautiful, beautiful scenery, ended up in South Lake Tahoe. But on the way, the crew and I got ejected from one of the camps for being too rowdy and lighting fires and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was a great trip. Just shout out to all those people. A couple of my cousins were on the trip and some really, really good friends that came. Probably the best trip I've ever had in my life. I know I probably already said that like twice this year because I've had some great trips. But
you have had some great trips, man.
This was awesome, and it was very tiring and taxing having to put stuff back in the van and all the stuff, and we were all crammed in this van and stuff like that. Yeah, but overall, fun times, lots of drinking, lots of debauchery. Obviously, getting ejected from a camp was something that I thought would happen, but it made it much worse than I thought. We also, by the way, shout out to that ranger. We ended up prank calling him at the end of it.
Serious?
What?
He had no idea and totally fell for it. We have an app where it's like a different voice calls from a different number, and we had a black dude call him and
You got a random black guy call
No,
him?
it's part
There's
of
black people in the woods?
it's part of the
First of all, I'm just shocked there's black people in the woods because black people don't do camping, man.
This is a fake.
That's not stereotype.
this
That's
is
truth.
This is a fake.
Okay.
This is a fake.
Why you grabbed the black guy?
Automated. No,
That's what I'm trying to
it was.
figure
Oh,
out.
you have my girlfriend's number, and we knew he would be intimidated because he never sees black guys in the woods. So we're like, let's do the black. Let's do the black guy.
Is this really true? Yeah, he doesn't
Absolutely,
see black
yeah,
people
absolutely,
in the
yeah.
street.
But
Y'all use a black person's number? Y'all use a black person's
yeah, we
voice?
did the number from like North Carolina too. You know.
Oh, this is Ryan.
I'm just
motherfucker.
kidding. No, we did it from the area, the campsite, so he'd answer, and he answered right away. And
What did y'all do?
shout out to Ranger Blair for being a complete asshole the whole time. Wow. So, but yeah,
listening.
trip was fun, and shout out to all those people. All right.
Did you almost get killed by a bear?
No, we did see a bear.
You did see a bear,
We did
yeah.
see a bear
Nice.
and its cub run across the street. Nobody got pictures. It was too fast. But we saw a bear and in a little cub, and it was cute as hell.
Oh,
it was
nice,
cute. It was
man.
awesome. But
love
that bear
bears.
would have ripped my. Excuse me.
Yes.
Trey, what time is
Yes.
it? What time is it?
50 minutes.
50. Okay, so you
Yes.
got 42
Hey.
and 50. Eric, when are you going to say the F word on the podcast?
Don't tempt me.
F 3 times, baby. F it 3 times.
Okay, you can't say the F word. What else you can't say?
You can't say the N word.
can't say the
can't
N-word.
say a C word either.
Can't say the C word.
C
okay.
word. You can't. I mean, you probably can't say gay jokes, right?
You did say F word and relates to.
When?
You said that in the last podcast.
I said
or
that
2
on the last-
podcasts.
I said effing gay.
You said no. You said what rhymes with jag. You said the F word. What rhymes with jag?
oh.
fag.
You said that.
We can say fag.
You said that on the podcast.
We can say fag unless
I-
we're making fun of somebody.
Yeah,
but
I
if
don't-
I'm just saying the word.
Yeah, nah. We
Okay,
ain't
well
doing
then
that.
it's fine.
But look,
All right, blank those out too.
also,
51 minutes.
also, y'all didn't get struck by those holy fires up there, because that's why I called
Well,
you.
the Holy Fire was in Orange County.
Oh, it was in Orange County. I thought it was
That
up
was
in
the
Northern
name of a
California.
fire because it was in Holy Jim. No, oh, no,
there
we
was
were
some in
gonna
Sonoma,
gonna
right?
go to Yosemite and we couldn't because of the fire. So yes, the fires
no.
did affect us. Fit Day in Lake Tahoe was completely smoky too.
Oh,
It
that
was
sucks.
not. Yeah, it was. But that didn't damage the trip. In the redwoods, it was
Right.
completely fine. So we were good. We got lucky. We did kind of plan around that though, because we did see there were fires. So nonetheless, it was fun. It's fun. Shout out to those
Damn,
people
man.
for and F you Ranger Blair. All right, so let's move to NXT Takeover. A lot of people overshadow and forget about this pay per view a lot of times when it's coming up.
Hold on. Did you forget about Eric's segment? When we doing
I'm
Eric's
gonna do it.
segment?
I'm gonna do it after this.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
so
cool.
after NXT. right.
See NXT Indies.
Oh, nice.
See, I got
Good transition
my
right there.
agenda somehow.
You should prep us before.
Yeah, that's good. No, this is off the cup podcast. We don't prepare.
You didn't prep me.
We don't
more
prepare
today.
with-
We
which
just
is
have to
why-
prepare, you
Yeah,
know.
which is why we end up going off topic for 40 minutes later in the podcast. NXT Takeover. First of all, are we excited about this?
I'm always excited to see the Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream.
Now I'm disappointed that Aleister Black got injured,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the downside right there for
It does suck.
NXT.
and I wonder how many matches you can do with Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa before we're like enough.
Well,
is
this is
enough.
the last one. It's Brooklyn. It's probably the last one.
Okay, this should be the NXT Takeover Brooklyn is pretty much like the WrestleMania
Absolutely.
for NXT.
Yeah.
So you've got to in some way, shape, or form have this be the conclusion for this feud and storyline.
This pay per view is being booked like a WrestleMania. As far as NXT, you have
It's only 5 matches.
Undisputed Era versus Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. All right, I haven't seen
my
Mustache
goodness.
Mountain wrestle
You're
yet.
gonna
Shit.
love
Okay,
the
so
way they wrestle.
I'm excited. That's Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Give me any time Undisputed Era can come out.
I love those
Give them.
guys.
Adam Cole versus Ricochet
Bang.
for the NXT North American Championship. Hell yeah. Velveteen Dream versus EC3. Those are some characters right there.
The
Shayna
Velveteen
Baszler
Dream has
versus
so much charisma.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. That Kairi Sane, I believe, she won
Mae
the
Young
Mae Young
Classic.
Classic
Mae Young
last year.
Classic,
So
yeah.
that's a very good match. And then obviously, what was supposed to be a triple threat match, which I would have liked better, we get Ciampa and Gargano in another beat the shit out of the other guy match.
Yeah.
And what can they do now?
Feuding.
What are you gonna do?
I think
now?
so. Well, I think one of them has to die during this match.
One of them has to die.
They call it last
Killing
man.
on
I
live
think
television.
it's literally last man standing.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's for the NXT Championship because if you didn't know, Ciampa somehow won the NXT Championship while we've all been watching Raw and SmackDown and preseason football. So I'm excited about this pay-per-view only, and this is the first time I'm seeing most of this card too. We all have talked about this. The wrestling is awesome. Hopefully, there's some storyline ties to it. I've always complained about
Ciampa
that.
and Gargano. Yeah, I think there's more of a storyline for that one.
Yeah, I just really wish that. I mean, it sucks. And they did something where Aleister Black got beat up in the parking lot, but we all know he tore his ACL or whatever.
Right.
It was.
He
So
didn't
it's
tear
not-
his ACL. He's just
What
gonna
did
be
he
out
do?
for about 4 or 5. I
Wasn't
forgot
he-
what some MCL tear or something. Some MCL
Man, suck it
issue.
up and wrestle. God. look at Seth Rollins came back from like 6 weeks from like a torn meniscus to wrestle
that's
WrestleMania and Triple. It looked great. So
It's a difference.
I know.
I don't think
I want to
Aleister-
see
I don't-
triple threat.
I don't think Aleister Black is in good a shape as Seth
We'll
Rollins.
we'll
to
see
be
that.
honest with
We'll
you.
see a triple threat in the future.
All
Just
that
not
devil
now.
worshiping has took some out,
Yeah.
took stuff out of him.
Yeah,
But-
that cold shit ain't gonna get you anywhere, man.
That is.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, what are we specifically excited about?
Adam Cole and Ricochet.
I am
excited
too.
for that
I'm
one.
more excited about that because I've already seen Gargano and Ciampa wrestle. Obviously, it's the
same.
end of the storyline, but
Velveteen Dream versus
EC3.
EC3. That's another one I want to see.
I really like Velveteen Dream, man. Like
He's a great
I keep,
guy.
I keep
Great
telling y'all,
wrestler.
man, Velveteen Dream might be, if they let him evolve organically and handle him with care, could be this generation's Rock.
He's gonna make money.
I'm just
That's
saying.
for sure. He's gonna make money. in
He's
the
gonna
future.
he's gonna print money for you because he has charisma. He has so much charisma that I can see kids going towards him. I can see if you're Stephanie McMahon so into let's be more in touch with the gay community. I could see the LGBTQ community.
LGBTQ. Bro.
Okay,
Come on.
Yeah, I can see them.
We just
riding
lost-
with
we just lost
Velveteen-
that audience.
Yeah,
The LBT.
They're forgiving.
H crew. I don't know.
I'm sorry. It's a long acronym, man. But look, I can see them going, and nothing against them. But I can see them, riding with Velveteen Dream, and of course the male fans and the casual audience riding with Velveteen Dream because he reminds them of Prince.
Right.
I see something in Velveteen Dream. Handle this man with care. He reminds me of The Rock, and the reason why he reminds me of The Rock is because The Rock would lose a lot of matches. Because I'm a huge Rock fan. I'm one of the biggest Rock fans you'll ever meet.
So Rocky Maivia, if you ask me.
He's not Rocky Maivia. He's The Rock
when-
in 1999-2000 when he was constantly losing matches, but yet it seems like he was getting over week after week after week. He's that Rock. He's that Rock. It's to the point now where you've got to put the title on him sooner rather than later. But the man, at this point in the game, doesn't need the title because he steals every match that he's on at any NXT takeover. He's lost a ton of matches, and he's still over. Everybody has said this. We've all talked about this on the podcast, and I keep nailing this. Velveteen Dream does not need to go to the main roster right now. He needs to stay in NXT, develop his craft, handle with care. I would want Vince McMahon to be out of the company and have Triple H take over, then put Velveteen Dream on the main roster.
How about this? I got this. So, assuming Velveteen Dream will probably lose the EC3 this Saturday.
I don't think he will.
How about you give him the NXT North American strap next? Gives him a chance to stay on NXT longer.
Versus Adam Cole or Ricochet?
I'm saying next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
No, probably. Because I'm guessing Adam Cole will win that match against Ricochet, and I'm throwing something out based on match. Like I'm going in the future, but certain things can happen at this pay-per-view and ruin my whole predictions. But I would love for Velveteen Dream to get the secondary title on NXT.
Well, he needs to elevate that title because I think Adam Cole's title reign has been, and it's the first one, has been a little disappointing. He hasn't.
Well, but he's part of the Undisputed Era, and they're trying to have them kind of hold all the titles and stuff like that. But
Trying to
I'm
build
just
their
saying
faction.
if there's anybody that's going to take the strap off of Adam Cole, it should be Velveteen Dream because Adam Cole eventually will be up on the main roster probably within the next year. So Velveteen Dream doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to be up there for a while.
Well-
And by giving him a title on NXT, that holds him out.
And I know that WWE has a way of this is right after SummerSlam. They have a way of bringing in NXT superstars after SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I'm not sure if you
Please,
guys are
God,
aware
don't
of
let
that.
him show up on Monday Night Raw.
Who?
Because
Adam
Velveteen
Cole?
Dream.
Oh, no way.
Because if he shows up
He
on Monday
can't.
Night
He's
Raw,
not.
he's this is what time is it right now?
58.
He's fucked. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down
I love
to
that. I love that.
like
Nice, man.
Like at the end of the day, man, you show up on Monday Night Raw, you're in a sea of Roman Reigns, Vince McMahon,
Jobbing 2 wrestlers.
come.
How about this?
Like that's what you're in, and you're not gonna get out
Did
of
you
it.
just reference semen on this
Yeah.
podcast?
So please, I'm begging you. I referenced the UTI infection known as Roman Reigns. You have.
How about this? How about this? The only way it works is if Roman Reigns wins the title and Velveteen Dreams beats him for the Universal title at the next pay-per-view. How about that?
No, because then people will complain about Velveteen getting pushed too soon.
So?
That's the
At
exact
least it's
thing.
better than.
Oh, the crowd was gonna be so
At least it's
over
better than Roman
if he beat Roman
being
Reigns.
champion.
If he beat Roman Reigns, it would be the same reaction I had when Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship last year, but even more.
No,
Like,
your reaction
so
was out of
unexpected.
control.
No, Ryan.
Oh,
I love. Do not hinder Jinder.
I
Don't
can-
hinder the
stop
Jinder.
Stop beating him up, Braun Strowman.
Shout outs to the heel kid.
I can totally tell RKJ man that you've been behind Velveteen Dream.
Oh,
for a
I love
while.
him. I
Yeah.
think he's the next Rock of this
And-
generation, y'all.
And I know I understand that you want him to be protective as much as possible. I just I can't see him go on Monday Night Raw the next day after SummerSlam. I can't see that.
I hope he doesn't.
Give him some more time in NXT.
Give him some more time and
Yeah.
seasoning. It's difficult for people. If there's anybody who can adjust to a crowd, I do think it's Velveteen Dream, because the crowd in the WWE, like Raw and SmackDown and 205 Live and all those things, they're much different than NXT. If there's anybody who can adjust to that, I think it's Velveteen Dream. But let's get him some more practice down in NXT. I agree with you, Nick. Let's have him win that North American Championship. Let's have him have a nice reign. Let's have him win the NXT Championship. Let him stay in there for 2 more years and be a staple. He's only like 22, 23.
He's a young
He's
kid.
got tons of time, man. Tons of time to build himself up to be a main superstar in the WWE. And if you handle him with care, he can be your next Rock, man. I'm serious.
And he'll make money for you.
He'll
guys.
make
He's
money
young
for
enough.
you.
He's only like he's like my age.
Yeah, he's 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's young, man. Just don't rush it, you know? In the words of Kanye West, drive slow, homie. Okay?
There you go.
I've been using a lot of Kanye West references lately.
Velveteen Dream's birthday is also on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Velveteen Dream and I are extremely close in age. Like 11
Wow.
days. He's 11 days older than me.
Oh, yeah, y'all
Damn.
both Virgos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Virgos,
Shout out to
yeah.
all them Virgos out there.
Shout out to Virgos. Virgos are the best.
Wait a minute.
My
No,
dad's
no,
a Virgo,
no,
my
no, no, no,
brother's
no,
a
no,
Virgo.
no, 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 no. August 19th's a Libra. And you're
Who
a
cares
Virgo.
about that stuff, man?
I'm just saying.
Let's get back to the Virgo.
I'm just saying. I'm a Gemini.
But all right, so is there anything
Oh,
else?
God,
that-
that's not a good picture.
I apologize.
Good Lord.
That's better than
I didn't
the thing,
see- I
that's
didn't
better
see-
than the thing that was in the corner of the computer when we first turned on this
I didn't
stuff.
see it,
porn or
but
something
what
on
is
there. I
it?
don't know what
Oh,
the-
really?
I don't know what that was. Earlier. That was disgusting. What do you want to talk about? You want to do predictions officially?
Well, do we want to talk anything about any more of the storylines, or we just want to kind of get to predictions for NXT?
Shayna Baszler, when do y'all think she's going up to
Gotta
the
lose
main
the title
roster?
first.
And on top of that,
I think Kairi Sane can win that match.
okay.
I think maybe this is the time with Ronda Rousey, you know, really in the limelight right now. You have Baszler. I could see Baszler coming up to the roster like on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah.
She's probably gonna get called up soon. Maybe after, yeah.
Oh, I just thought about it. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler at Evolution.
Ooh.
I just thought about
There
that.
you go.
I am down.
There you go.
I am
Gotta
down,
have
down,
something
down.
then. Because
Yeah.
what women on Raw, when Rousey gets the title,
You're right. We just
What
figured it
women,
out.
what women on Raw can actually
give me a high five.
step
We
up.
figured it out.
Like, can step up.
We figured it out.
I mean, come on, like Alicia Fox. I was looking at Alicia Fox. I was
Alicia
like, come
Fox
on.
just getting ragdolled
She's
every
just getting
night.
ragdolled.
I feel bad, dude.
By the way,
Ronda
take
Rousey-
that shit off, like that whole like
Ronda
Beyonce
Rousey-
looking thing that she's got.
Even Renee Young talk shit. the other day.
Like, take that off, man.
Ronda Rousey has been stiff as hell with Alicia Fox.
Jeez,
too.
man.
Brutal.
And you know
Same
why,
as
She's gonna
right?
kill her.
Brock was stiff with Roman on Raw too.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because Alicia Fox and Ronda Rousey
Ronda
husband.
Rousey, yeah.
That's
right. There you go.
They got it. We on fire today, man.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's do predictions though, because I think the NXT is fun to talk about, but I don't think any of us watch it week to week. So let's get into predictions. Let's
Too
do
much content, man.
Exactly. I know. Velveteen Dream versus EC3. What do we think happens?
Gotta give Velveteen a win sometime. Throw that man a
Yeah,
bone.
Velveteen.
Give him,
He should win.
You know
think
what?
so.
I'm going to agree because I just said the thing about the North American Championship, and that would give him a reason to get that title shot. So I'll go Velveteen Dream too.
Give that man a win.
By the way, we adding the NXT matches to our little competition we do for the pay-per-views.
not really.
No,
No, okay,
we're gonna
that-
stick to the
that's
paper.
There's too many matches on SummerSlam.
And a lot of the NXT ones are pretty predictable too.
Yeah.
So it's well, we'll see. Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I will guess first on this one. I think the Undisputed Era.
They've been going back and forth with the title. One point, Mustache Mountain had it, and then Undisputed Era grabbed it back again, and
They
then I think
flip-flop, yeah.
Mustache Mountain got it back again. and then
I just don't
Undisputed-
think they're giving the title to a bunch of guys like that wrestle in Europe the majority of the
Well,
year.
they've given the title to them already, Nick.
No, but they don't have it right now.
Okay.
That's my point.
Well, I think
You gotta
Undisputed
create- you
Era is
gotta
winning
create some-
still, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying they've
Yeah,
had the title before.
What are you fighting me for? We
They've,
agree.
They've had the title before.
Typical RKJ man Nick interaction on the podcast. For no reason, we start
And
arguing.
outside.
podcast
And
gold.
outside.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
this
It's
happens in
good
real life.
podcast
Yeah,
gold.
this happens in real life. You should see our texts about our artwork. I'm just like, I was so like, what are you talking about? Like, we were just confused.
Absolutely, Eric. What do you think?
Undisputed Era. I'm gonna go with those guys. They're my favorites, and also I think they got the overall advantage. Yeah.
Okay, so we agree on the first two. Adam Cole
Baby.
versus that was very good versus Ricochet. NXT North American Championship.
Ricochet. I'm gonna go with Ricochet.
Well,
I'm going Adam Cole.
Well,
I
if we're,
disagree.
if we're saying that Velveteen Dream is going for the North American Championship, Velveteen and Ricochet have already faced each other, so I
Exactly.
think you've got to have Velveteen versus Adam Cole.
that's
That's a fresher matchup.
I'm
Right.
basing my prediction on Velveteen, my stuff. So I kind of want Adam Cole to win, and I believe he'll win because I mean Ricochet. I just think Adam Cole. I think so. I think if they keep the straps on the tag team title for the Undisputed Era, might as well keep it on Adam Cole.
Yeah.
But I just want you to see how great storyline continuity is because everybody's kind of associated with each other. EC3, Adam Cole, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, they all kind of had some sort of interaction with each other. So you can easily place them in a feud together. Reminds me of that old school Attitude Era booking. Everybody had some type of association with each other, so you could
Like they intertwined in a way.
They intertwined, so you could have a tag team match, and it wouldn't just be like, oh, this and this and this, and let's have a
Yeah.
tag team match. It would actually make sense to have a tag team match.
Exactly. No, I
That's
agree.
why I like the storytelling in NXT.
All right. So Shayna Baszler
Queen of Hearts.
versus Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane is
Kairi
one of the
Sane.
cutest girls, man. She is
That's
so
not
cute.
what I asked.
I'm sorry, man, but she's cute. I like her.
But is she gonna win her?
Is she
Kairi
gonna
Sane.
win the damn match or
Kairi
what?
Sane.
She won Ryan's heart, but is she gonna win, but is she gonna win the match?
RKJ Man's heart, man.
I'm gonna go Kairi Sane. Did you say Kairi Sane?
Yeah,
I'll
I
say
I'm
of
going,
us,
because I think
yeah.
I think Baszler is gonna go up to the main roster soon.
you got to have her face Ronda
get that
Rousey.
And here's the thing too. She actually doesn't need to come up right away. She just needs to come up around Evolution time, which is what, October?
October 28th.
So it's coming up kind of
So
soon.
you got to get her on
You
the
got like
roster
8 or
soon.
9. I think it's like because they announced that SmackDown's 1000th episode is going to be in like 8 or 9 weeks. That's around
Yeah.
Evolution time. So you have it's the next pay per view after Hell in a Cell or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's coming up soon. You gotta have her come up soon. All right, and then Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, last man standing match for the NXT Championship. Eric, what is going to happen?
I'm going to go with Ciampa because I know they want to continue the feud between Aleister Black. So Ciampa's going to keep the title. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say Tommaso Ciampa. I think this feud needs to end. Somebody's got to go to the main roster. And I think Johnny Gargano is the first person who you pick to go to the main roster out of these two because he has the Daniel Bryan factor.
We might see him in SmackDown then.
Yeah, you put him on SmackDown.
What about cruiserweights? You don't think that's happened?
No, I think he has the Daniel Bryan factor. I think he can get over with the crowd based off his pure wrestling ability and just being a likable guy and being a smaller guy. Do you bring up Candice LeRae with him? I don't know. But I think you go with Tommaso Ciampa to continue the feud between him and Aleister Black. And then after Aleister Black loses, you put him up on the main roster.
I agree with that. I mean, there's no reason to have Gargano win and then have a rematch clause bullshit. No, this and the rivalry.
It's gotta end.
Ciampa's got to win. So there was only one match we disagreed on. So I'm glad that we didn't do the predictions for this one or whatever. So. All right, so NXT is going to be cool. The matches we know will be great. It's Brooklyn. They show out, probably be 2.5 hours to 3 hours of a pay-per-view. And it will be exciting. Can't not wait.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, it's time for Eric's Indie Updates.
Got some good stuff coming to you.
Remember the extra part of this, too.
And there's an extra part to it.
I love the new edition.
Oh,
The
shoot.
edition. And I actually got a good one for this one. I like to have fun. So, for Ring of Honor New Japan Wrestling, G1 Supercard is sold out. Madison Square Garden for next year. Yeah, tickets sold
huge.
pretty quick. And man, I am looking forward to that one. It's going to be a big event next year in terms of the day before some WrestleMania. Also, all-in matches have been announced. So I'm going to name you some of the matches that have been announced. So we have Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jay Lethal versus the winner of the over-budget Battle Royal. The winner of that match gets to take on Jay Lethal. I know guys like Brian Cage and Colt Cabana are in it, so who knows who's going to win that match.
We need to talk Colt Cabana.
We'll talk, yeah. I want to leave that. Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
No, I know what you're talking about. Madison Rain versus Britt Baker versus
Madison
Chelsea
Rain.
Green and Tessa Blanchard
She's
in
a
a
kid.
fatal four-way match. Also, the Briscoe brothers versus the SoCal Uncensored with Frankie Kazarian and also Christopher Daniels. And Christopher Daniels has double duty on that one because Daniels has got a match against Stephen Amell. We know him as Green Arrow from the CW TV show. And
What?
Yeah, I know because he's an avid wrestling fan. And
This is going to be a 1-minute show-off match.
know.
This is going to be a 1-minute match,
I
man.
know. Rey Mysterio and Phoenix and Bandito versus the Golden Elite.
What a beautiful card.
Who is the Golden Elite?
It's the Young Bucks teaming up with Ibushi. Yeah, they added one of their guys with them from New Japan. And Joey Janela versus Hangman Page. And Okada versus Scarelli. And also, of course, the main event, Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes for the NWA Championship.
This is a stat card.
Did Cody Rhodes win that other championship or no?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He
It's kind of
couldn't.
disappointing. I was hoping they'd do like title for title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Winner
it's like
take all.
literally indie wrestling, so they probably could have set that up and they didn't for some reason. So I don't know.
So, question for you. Where can we see it? Because I know it's on pay-per-view now. Is it on Fight TV?
I think it's on Fight TV, but
where, like, is that like...
They
you gotta
better make it $10.99.99.
Is it like a subscription service you have to sub up to? Because
I'm gonna have to look more into it, man. To be honest, because they haven't announced anything yet. But the only thing I can find is probably Twitch. But also, as of right now, I don't know if
wants to watch
there's.
a pay-per-view on Twitch?
See, this is the problem,
Yeah.
though. It's like
You've gotta find
there's
a
two
way.
things that need to happen for me to watch the All-In pay-per-view. One, it needs to cost the same or less than a WWE pay-per-view does for me every month, which is $9.99. And number two, it needs to be on something where I don't have to like go through 3 different streaming sites. I don't know how to do a lot of that stuff. So if
Right.
it, I'm okay with watching it online, and I feel like we all of us probably could watch it together. But I mean, best thing is to find, get a TV deal or a pay-per-view deal.
Yeah,
makes
and
it
I
easy
heard
on
I
everybody.
heard the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes and them were talking about it, but like it's kind of difficult because with the WWE has such a monopoly on that business, they could just say, "Hey, look, we have all these things. We have the WWE Network. We don't need to put our stuff on there." They could just block them out.
It's
from
on
the market.
Fight Live TV.
Okay, so
Fight
how?
Live.
What is that, though?
So
It's looks like it's a different channel over in. Let's see.
look it up, Nick, because I have no.
What's
clue
it called? Fight Live.
Fight TV. FITE Live TV.
How?
That sounds like a fake site.
I know.
Fight TV. This is the boring part of the podcast where we look up something we don't know.
I know.
Like, how are we gonna
I mean, pro wrestling.
Pro
Let's see,
wrestling.
Ring of Honor. It says right there.
free Ring of Honor wrestling? But how are you gonna? How much is it?
How do you?
It's a hour-long pre-show.
Oh, there's All In right there, Nick.
Look at these guys.
It's getting All
Oh,
In
boy.
special.
And look, we could follow them on social media too.
Yeah, but what's the live offer?
What does it say? $40.
$40.
For only $40.
Wow.
Darn it. I guess if we're gonna support them, we gotta get all in, but like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it when I could see it on YouTube a day later. Like all I could do is
Yeah,
do YouTube.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna be like find out on Twitter. I mean, like you just stay off Twitter that day, you watch it the next day. You don't need to like.
Right.
It's not like WWE where there's Monday Night Raw after, and you gotta kind of pay attention. You don't want to miss
Right.
a lot, you know. But we'll see.
We'll see. Also, Chris Jericho on Twitter, he said that, and this is his tweet: 2019 is going to be an interesting year. # free agent Jericho. So it's speculating that he is open to work at any promotion around here in North America. And also, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks, their contracts are almost up in a few months. So WWE could be possibly interested in them due to the fact that, they have their TV deals with NBC Universal and Fox Sports. That could be a possibility right there. But for Jericho, since him being the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, it's going to keep him, a free agent for the entire year. I'm not sure, depending if WWE's going to call him up again. And then now we want to get to the extra part of the segment called the Dream Match of the Day. So I thought about this match for this whole week, and this week what was getting my attention was the showcase mode that was announced this week, entitling Daniel Bryan. They're going to be doing a 2K Sports. They're going to be doing a showcase mode for Daniel Bryan in WWE 2K19, indicating that you get to play his career from NXT all the way through retirement, and also the match after his retirement, which was basically Shane McMahon teaming up with Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Yeah. So they're going to include that match. And what I found was that, what could be a great guy, what could be a cool guy he can have a feud with or have a great match. Well, Daniel Bryan, he's catched so many people's hearts. He's a great guy in the ring and also a great guy, I'm pretty sure, as far as personality goes as well. But also there's also another guy who was over with the crowd as well back in the day. And also he's not around here anymore, but I want to get your thoughts on this one. What do you guys think about Daniel Bryan going up against Eddie Guerrero?
Oh, I mean, dude, you talk about technical ability, maybe the two best guys ever. Like, I mean, that'd be nuts. That's the second time you've come up with like an unbelievable match.
That would be phenomenal.
For today, should we stick with kind of like more like simple styles as far as us two picking a match?
Maybe,
like
but
similar
but speaking of
styles.
technical, I got something for you. Mm-hmm. Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle.
Yes. That's
very
hell
good.
yeah.
That's one I've been
That's
seeing,
one hell of
and
a
I've been
match I would
thinking
like
Bret
to-
Hart versus Kurt Angle. I think you just got to do it, man. You've got to do these, man. I mean, I would love to do it. Unfortunately, you can't do it now because they're not in a good enough situation in life. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, Bret Hart's old.
Bret
So
Hart's
that's
Yeah,
all it is.
he's done. Kurt Angle, he's got a few.
These are dream matches,
Yeah.
though. I got one. This is kind of dumb because it's technically already happened, but I would love to see John Cena versus The Undertaker like 7 years ago. I would love to see that
when he was
before
still-
the streak was happening.
when the Undertaker actually could put on matches,
No,
and
but
the streak was
especially
alive.
the streak was live. I
Right,
would love
when it
to
was
see
relevant.
that. Very similar styles, bigger guys. The match would be good, and obviously you really wouldn't know who was going to win. So
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
actually.
No,
So-
yeah, definitely.
And the WWE
and it still
blew
it could happen in WrestleMania this year.
It could happen.
So it won't be the same as Taker's gonna break his hip during the
Which
match.
one? Hold on. Which one do you want to see most? Taker versus Sting or Taker versus Cena from 8
Well,
years
I've always
ago?
been a WWE guy, so it'd be Taker versus. I mean, Cena's like the top guy. Sting was.
Taker versus Sting.
TNA.
Taker.
WCW TNA.
Well,
WCW
yeah, but
TNA.
it's
Well, Taker versus Sting, having the two franchise players, and people have been talking about this
that'd
match
be cool.
for a long time.
I think Cena's
know?
a better wrestler than Sting, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
More modern style with the Undertaker. I think it would work out better. But
Yeah, because Sting
those
has taken a
WCW
lot.
guys. I mean, we were talking about that the other day. The wrestling wasn't tip top shape a lot.
The
of
wrestling
times on
wasn't
those
the
shows,
great.
so.
It was just all about the booking and something fresh. And,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. People look over that stuff if you got something fresh.
So I know, like, I want to jump back to it. Who do you think would have won, Guerrero or Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan, because you got to put over the young guy.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, true. Because it would have happened. Daniel Bryan still would be the young guy. Was Eddie Guerrero? Oh yeah, he was older. He was in WCW.
He was actually in his prime.
Eddie Guerrero. He
Before
was in his
passed,
prime
yeah.
when he
Daniel
died.
Bryan absolutely would have won that match. But that was a good one.
Oh.
That was
I got to talk about one thing before we get to SummerSlam predictions. This Colt Cabana CM Punk situation.
I got.
can't get a break?
We can't talk about this too long because.
Yeah.
But I have something else I wanted to just mention right after this.
Okay.
The Colt Cabana CM Punk thing. You were talking about Punk earlier, and I almost brought it up. Do you guys? I don't know what happened. Why
Okay.
is he getting sued for $1 million?
So apparently, Eric, help me out with this. Apparently,
Nobody knows.
Colt Cabana, and CM Punk were texting, and CM Punk told him, "Hey, don't worry about it. I've got you on the lawyers, man. You're good. You know, I got you." So Colt Cabana wasn't really. He went out. He wasn't really worried too much about the lawyer situation and the fees used to go when WWE sued him and the doctor sued him, or when the doctor sued him
Right.
from the WWE. And now Colt Cabana is out of a lot of money. And he is going off the text message from what CM Punk had said to him. Hey, I've got your back. Don't worry about it. I'm just paraphrasing here. And now he's suing him based off that, and that CM Punk was going to help him with his costs for his legal fees and whatnot.
Right.
Because, you know, obviously Colt Cabana is not as known.
$200,000 he's seeking. Colt Cabana.
I heard it was $1 million.
Legal fees plus
It's
$1 million.
$1 million. I heard $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and punitive damages for Punk. Yeah.
This is sad, man.
I mean,
hate-
if this
I hate
extends
seeing
longer, we'll talk about it on the podcast. This is going to be an important thing, especially since we kind of like
how many more
knocking
things?
CM Punk on this podcast a lot. But
How many more things do we have to deal with CM Punk?
it's just because he's like he just couldn't handle the booking, so now he's like ruined his UFC career and now is ruining friendships with like his closest friends. Like,
Well, they
I don't
haven't been
understand
like
it.
in contact in a while. Those guys have been in contact.
Yeah, but it's like all because he wants to like somehow get back in Vince. Like it's like very strange. This is the problem with Punk's not really a nice guy. Like he's
Let
not
it
really
go,
a good guy.
Punk.
Yeah,
He's-
like he's
let
just,
it go, man.
You know, we talk about Randy Orton, but like at least Randy Orton ain't suing his friends and
I don't
shit.
know,
and
man.
it's like
It's
I'd much rather grab his dick and shake his hand.
Whoa!
No.
That's a soundbite. Nick wants to grab Randy Orton's dick.
No, you want to talk about sound bites?
A minute and 21.
You said you wanted to get paddled by
An
chicks
hour,
earlier. So
an hour and 21.
What man wouldn't want to get paddled by a high girl?
that's a good point.
I just gave Nick ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but yeah, Punk. Wow. What can I say?
Yeah. What can we say?
What can we say other than CM Punk? Come on, man. Like CM Punk and Colt Cabana. Come on, y'all.
Get over it.
Like get over it. Y'all ain't there no more.
It's time to
move on.
Please.
Move. I almost did that for it again. That was, move on, man.
All right, so I got something juicy. Did you guys hear about Peyton Royce and Dave Meltzer?
Oh Lord Jesus, what
What-
happened
what's
there?
going on? What's
I didn't
going
hear
on? You
guys
about
don't
that.
know about
I want
it?
to hear. I want to hear this.
Oh, can he slide in her DMs? He slide in her
No,
DMs.
way worse, way worse.
Slid in those DMs.
The only reason we're not going to extend on this too is because Meltzer apologized immediately when Peyton Royce called him out for this. But on a podcast with like that dude Brian Alvarez, Meltzer, he said that they were talking about Royce and the Iconics in NXT compared to WWE, and he said that their kind of characters are a lot more stale in WWE than they were in NXT, which is true.
I agree.
Yeah.
And they're like, he said they're a little bit boring now. He also, but then he had to go on, and he actually wasn't malicious about this. He kind of just chose his words wrong when he said this. There was two things he said that got him in hot water. One, he said Peyton Royce was hotter back in NXT than she is in SmackDown now.
That's a lie.
And then he also mentioned that she looked a little chunky, gained a little weight, and then
In NXT or in WWE?
she's like bigger now.
No, she's just been working out better. I can
I
see
think so
she's
too.
toned. She's toned her body
but
better.
so I want to mention that to you guys almost because obviously you didn't know about this. And then so Royce said, "Oh, what do you want me to do? Starve myself? You're one of the reasons that like young girls are not." And Meltzer immediately apologized and said, "I chose my words wrong." So it's not really a thing. But
I thought he slid in her DMs. That would have been a much better story.
no, Meltzer is like
He's not. He's
not one
He
of
doesn't
those
look like
guys.
the kind of guy who would do that.
No, it's because he can't get shit. All right, let's get to SummerSlam predictions.
Okay.
Picking a fight with Dave Meltzer?
Let me write these down real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna start writing these down while we're going. All right. So we put the pre-show matches in this little competition.
I guess
Yeah.
That wasn't a very
if you want to. I mean, not really.
Look how sad.
Like, I
the
really
RKJ
don't really
is.
care.
I think.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
just
the RKJ is just not looking forward.
The
to
only
the
thing I
pre-show.
want to see with the pre-show is Selena Vega. Like, she's like.
And Lana.
I still wonder, Nick, because every time I see Andrade,
What am I going to be asked right
Andrade.
now?
anytime I see Andrade Cien Almas, all I say out loud, Andre Cien Almas likes In-N-Out. Because if you don't know by now, me and Nick went to In-N-Out after we went to a SmackDown Live, and Andre Cien Almas was there, and who else? Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
By the way, Buddy Murphy is not 205. Okay, that man's got to be 220.
No way.
He's huge, man.
Jacked.
That dude
Huge
is
biceps.
jacked.
Big guy.
Huge biceps. No way he's 205. Okay, they just put him on there because they don't have anything for him on the main roster. Because that dude, when he came up for that double and fries, I was like, good.
Man, he's got
Lord.
double fries at home.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and Andre Cien Almas, he was wearing this thing, and I was sad. I was like, man, they had In-N-Out early. Like, so I guess Andre Cien Almas can go get some. I guess I was making jokes with Mom. I was like, I guess it's good because he can go get some Bojangles chicken after the matchup. He's gonna go to every place that has famous for good food and get
Terrible.
there early. But yeah, I mean, I think Andre Cien Almas needs to be used better, man. Like, I don't know why he's on SmackDown Live and why he's doing these pre-show matches with Rusev Day and Lana. Get him in an Intercontinental title feud.
Well, I heard he was going to do something with Sin Cara.
Or US title feud.
And due to an injury to Cara, his booking got screwed up.
Well,
so I think
mean,
they kind of threw this together at
have
the last
backup
second.
plans. Have
Well, this
backup
is the
plans.
backup plan. He's facing Rusev.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Plan B ain't good
I mean,
enough.
this is that match, and we're not putting this on this, but that match is probably a way of continuing this Aiden English Rusev Lana angle. To be honest, I don't think Cien Almas and Vega have anything to do with this. They're just an opponent. So, let's skip the pre-show matches.
BS.
Yeah, skip the pre-show matches. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Oh, we're starting off this.
Well, I'm just gonna go by I'm on the Wikipedia page, and it's just easier to go that way.
Man.
Okay,
This is
well,
difficult.
I mean, if you want, sorry, Finn Balor and Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Give him his win back.
I'm gonna go with Balor.
Okay.
So
Sounds fair.
Balor wins that match. I wrote down the wrong one already for Ryan. Let's go with Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy.
I think Nakamura's going to win due to some screwy finish with Randy Orton.
They're gonna keep the belt on Nakamura.
Absolutely,
So Nakamura.
I think Nakamura wins as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. Intercontinental Championship.
And
This one's kind of difficult.
and Dean's in Rollins'
Dean Ambrose
corner.
and Drew McIntyre, obviously.
Yeah,
and Ziggler.
they're both each other's corners.
Give me Seth Rollins. They gotta have something that surprises us, right? Give me Seth Rollins. I think Dean Ambrose can pay dividends, and you can set up something later on down the road with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for WrestleMania.
I disagree. I'm going to go with Ziggler. I
gonna
think
go with
I think
Ziggler.
they want. I would rather see Rollins in the Universal Championship picture too. So I kind of want him to be away from the Intercontinental.
By the way,
Champion.
what the
He was a
heck?
great Intercontinental Champion, but I want to see Rollins in the top. He deserves.
Yeah.
What the heck was Ziggler wearing this past Monday on Raw? Like his whole this stuff is confusing sometimes.
He just plays that ridiculous heel character with the hair and the clothes and all that
Too
stuff.
much.
But
Trying to be Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect.
I know.
Eric, what are you going with this?
Ziggler. I'm gonna have to go with him.
Go with Ziggler as
yeah,
well.
He's gonna be Intercontinental champion for quite a while. Rollins, he's gonna have to leave that Intercontinental pool, and he's gonna have to go onto the Universal Championship mix.
Well, if
in the
Roman
future.
Reigns wins the title at SummerSlam this week, then it's a situation where you're like, okay, you've got to put more people who are contenders. So Seth Rollins.
Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens for the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Ooh, this one really bothers
and
me.
he can't get counted out or
can't.
get disqualified.
Yeah, it's the winner who takes the Money in the Bank.
Kevin Owens wins with some screwy finish.
You thinking he runs around the ring and gets Strowman to be counted out?
Maybe, or some
Unless-
screwy finish.
Unless Kurt Angle comes out and tries to reverse and start the match over. But
But that would be Angle would just literally be I want that guy to win, so let's restart the match. It's part of the match. If it's
but that's gonna help out.
if you
Kurt
have
Angle.
if you have a guy come in or something like that, Maybe they have Jericho come back or something like that. I don't know. No, they ruined their friendship. I'm going to go with Strowman. I think they booked him as the monster in the bank. I don't think they'll take it off him. I think it's a way to make the match better for SummerSlam.
And I think will we be seeing Braun Strowman later on?
Well, we'll say, hold on.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Braun Strowman. He's gonna keep that Money in the Bank briefcase. There's already so much popularity with this guy, and of course the guy, he's got so much going for him. Kevin, just not yet.
But I just want to say this though, like let's get over with this storyline because like the casual fan is tired of seeing the Braun Strowman keep insulting Kevin Owens. Like even my mom said it. My mom's like, why is that big man picking on that little man? She's like, why is that big man picking on that little man like that? That's not fair. What else?
Sorry. The tag teams: Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day.
Bludgeon Brothers retain.
I'm gonna go with New Day. I think the way they wrestled on SmackDown, where like they didn't give up. I think they'll find a way to beat the Bludgeon Brothers and become 5-time tag team champions.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Nick, because maybe Bludgeon Brothers, they've had the belt since what, WrestleMania? So
longer than that, I think.
WrestleMania.
Did they win it?
They won it at WrestleMania.
They beat the Usos, I think.
I remember because that was the Usos' first match on the main card at WrestleMania.
So,
speaking of main card, where are the Usos? Where are the Usos?
They lost a match on SmackDown.
They're in what I like to call mid card hell for tag teams.
I feel bad for those guys.
So, I don't. Yeah. They've been given a ton of opportunities. Sometimes you don't always need to be in the picture.
And I think there's a possibility for them to slide over to Raw and align themselves with Roman Reigns.
But that's not just going to happen in the middle of the year. So we have to wait for that.
But that's something that you can try out later.
Ryan, the RKJ man, likes to blur the lines between the brands, even though WWE doesn't do that.
They do it all the time, y'all. No, they do it all the time.
Who has switched?
Brand exclusive pay-per-views. Okay, you had the Money in the Bank where they were competing against each other, brand versus brand. Come on.
This is a non-topic. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until around WrestleMania time.
So New Day, they're gonna beat the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay.
I think so.
Let's go back to Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Are you guys ready to answer this one now?
So what do you guys think about the build-up for this? What did you think about, because I know you just watched it today, what did you think about the video package with Daniel Bryan versus The Miz?
I actually, due to time, I had to skip through those, but I'm going to watch them later.
I liked it.
They were very good.
They were good.
I thought they might do it for the pay-per-view too. So a lot of times those hype videos I'd rather watch during the pay-per-view and not watch them a second time.
Well, they're not going to show it.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm watching that for later. But was it good?
It was good. I enjoyed it, and I think this whole feud. I love how they blur the lines of reality because you use the Miz and Mrs. and what's going on there. And you blur those lines so you make it real. You make it think like, do they really not like each other in real life? Or
should
not?
Be a candidate for a feud a year.
What I like about this though too is that
we're seeing aggression too.
There's been like the Miz has done his stupid stuff with the Miz and Mrs. backstage, and he's acting like a pompous asshole the whole time, and then all of a sudden someone asks him like a personal question about Daniel Bryan, and he just explodes and freaks out, which I like. It's one of the reasons the Miz is over too, because you're right. He's blurred the lines. Like you don't actually know, like if this is actually making it personal between him and Daniel Bryan. Obviously, completely different types of guys. Daniel Bryan's the guy who kind of likes to seep into the shadows. Although he's on a reality show, he doesn't like to always be in the limelight outside of the wrestling ring. Miz obviously is the complete opposite. He'd almost rather be in the limelight outside of wrestling more than he would be in wrestling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a great match. I think we talked about this possibly happening at SummerSlam or WrestleMania, and it is.
It's coming to SummerSlam.
I'm glad it's happening, and I think Daniel Bryan wins the match.
Could you see this going until WrestleMania, where Daniel Bryan, they feud maybe at Hell in a Cell, and maybe Daniel Bryan wins it, and then all of a sudden Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. Miz finds a way to sneak his way onto a WWE Championship match or WWE Championship title reign, and then all of a sudden you got Daniel Bryan versus The Miz finally ending at WrestleMania.
I could see that happening because I don't necessarily see it ending with this. Although I think
it's not going to end.
Daniel Bryan's going to win the match.
No, I think The Miz is actually winning.
How is he winning though?
Screw him over like a.
He screws him over some way.
Disqualification match.
Pisses him, does something. Maybe Daniel Bryan loses his
I would love to see them in Hell in a Cell though.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it
I can
depends.
see that
Does
happening.
Daniel Bryan sign his
All right, I
contract
changed
yet
my
or
mind.
not?
I've changed my mind. Miz is winning the match.
No, you can't change your mind,
Yes, I can.
man.
No, you guys did. I thought about it a little bit, and I'm changing
Do we
my
have
mind.
any differences on these
Yeah,
predictions?
we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a ton. It's like most of the matches we've disagreed on so far.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make sure I don't miss any of these. Okay, Carmella versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. This is an interesting one.
Carmella's gonna retain, but I think there is getting ready to be a feud, a really massive
Between
feud
Becky
between
and
Becky
Charlotte, right?
which I
I-
pray to God for.
I'm gonna disagree. I think Charlotte wins this match, and it infuriates Becky even more that she was outed in the match first of all, and then she pins Carmella, and Becky never got pinned or anything, and Charlotte essentially steals the title from Becky Lynch. That's what I
Yeah.
think is gonna happen. So I'm going Charlotte.
I think we're building towards an evolution.
Becky Lynch. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
but I think
pay-per-view.
a better way to even hype it is like the way they did with NXT with Ciampa winning the title. Give Charlotte the title and infuriate Becky Lynch even more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
I'm gonna have to go with
Becky's the heel, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
heel
yeah,
turn.
Yeah. I can't see
But it's
Charlotte.
tough because the crowd is still behind Becky.
Doesn't
though.
matter. Crowds behind a ton of people all the time.
Yeah,
and
that
they
is
turn
true.
heel. So it's fine.
I'm gonna have to
Best
go
heel
with,
turn ever.
It would be. a great heel turn.
I'm gonna have to go with Carmella on this one. She's gonna retain that belt. You know, as long as they want to keep that belt as long as they can with her. Maybe she'll probably lose in Survivor Series. I don't know. A big pay-per-view.
I did love Charlotte calling her a diva.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Carmella just admitting it, and, like showing us her ass. Right? Like that's like
And then I was like, yeah.
I was like,
you
"Hey,
are
can we
diva."
keep the title on her, please?
Yeah, keep the title on her.
Hey, did you guys see that interview that
By the way-
Ronda Truth Killings did with Shinsuke
gonna say
Nakamura?
R-Truth.
R-Truth. And then he said, like, I want a match against Shinsuke Nakamura, SummerSlam. And
I mean,
Shinsuke
our
said-
truth's gimmick is really. I mean, he's just like he's like
Crazy.
kind of an insane, like
And then he said-
schizophrenic dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said that
It's terrible.
I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna pin Carmella.
Yeah. we're gonna get an R-Truth Carmella tape coming out in the next month. I apologize. I apologize to any of the women's listeners here.
The Me Too
that we
movement.
just cheered for a sex tape coming out. I apologize for Eric and the RKJ man's actions just a second ago. Cheering.
Let me explain. Oh, by the way, y'all hear about what Big Cass is calling himself on the Indies?
Big
Cass.
Kaz.
ZZ.
Okay, I
Z.
don't
Which is
care about-
ironic because
we're
he puts
talking
me to
about-
sleep
we're
every
talking
time he
about-
wrestles.
We're talking about SummerSlam. I don't care about big ass.
We're talking about Carmella, so I figure we just
I
talk
care about big ass, but not
Big
that
ass.
Way. Okay, sorry.
You love big ass, don't you?
I love me some
It's a slippery
Carmella.
slope. That's a slippery slope.
I love me some Carmella. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, so let's do Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey.
Oh, Ronda Rousey needs to kill Alexa Bliss.
Damn.
Like this needs to be
Killing
a killing on live
television?
television. This needs to be only
I
1
want
to
to
2
see that
minutes.
Baszler match. So I'm gonna
I'm
go
ready.
Ronda Rousey
I'm ready
too.
for Alexa Bliss to like tap out so badly it's not even funny. And realistically, what else are we gonna get on the Raw side of things for Ronda Rousey to go
Well,
through?
that's why I think Charlotte's gonna win the title on SmackDown because I think WWE's kind of realizing that they have like these paper champions, too many paper champions, and you need to
You need legit
give it to
champions.
the top. And
If you're
Charlotte
gonna-
and Ronda Rousey is like, and then you can have a match with them in Survivor Series too later.
No,
Well,
That's
it's
for
the brand, it's
WrestleMania.
a brand split.
that's for WrestleMania.
It's not going to happen. They're not on the same brands. You keep trying to split the brands. It's not
Hold on,
happening. It's not
hold on.
happening. No.
Charlotte
We're not talking
loses
about
the
this.
title. She wins the Women's Royal Rumble, and she challenges
Okay,
Ronda Rousey.
that's okay. That's the only way it can happen.
That's
Thank you for
common
explaining that to
sense.
me. Okay, so Ronda Rousey.
Ronda.
Ronda.
I'm gonna go with Ronda.
Hey,
Make her
that's an
tap.
easy one.
Tap.
I probably should have
She's
done that
gotta
earlier
tap,
in the show. Okay. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, WWE Championship.
What y'all think about how they're using AJ Styles' family?
I love it.
I don't like it.
I
Actually.
love it.
I don't
Samoa
like
Joe's
it.
Kinda
such
mixed.
an asshole.
He's getting heel hate for that. That's for sure. Just the match. I've seen it before, but it's good to see it again
In the WWE.
in a
It's
higher
not.
platform.
It's you really. It's not. It's different when it's in WWE though. It's not. You're seeing a brand new match. It's a different format. It's not a six-sided ring.
I'll take that. Hey, look, I'll take that match over Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
but who wins this match?
I'm going to go with Joe.
I'm going with Joe.
I think he's
too.
going to take
Joe.
that belt away from
we all
AJ.
think that. I thought I was
Joe.
gonna be the only one that thought that.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time for
Joe's
Joe.
tapping him the hell out. He should choke him out, and AJ Styles is not going to tap out. That's what I think is going to happen. So we'll keep him It will keep him level.
AJ, he's
keep
been
him
the
over.
champion for a while, but I think it's Joe's time.
They keep mentioning that he's been champion for like 273 days, which I feel like is a foreshadowing that he's going to lose it too.
Mm-hmm.
They keep Todd Phillips, whatever the hell his name is, keeps
Tom
saying
Phillips.
That. Tom Phillips keeps saying that. So Joe. God, I thought it was gonna be. I thought that was gonna be my one that I win. I did. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
The UTI infection. I think Roman Reigns is winning, y'all.
I really don't give a damn about this match.
Let's be honest.
Roman Reigns is winning, and I care a lot more than I did about a lot of the other matches.
My
with this
mom
one. I do not want Brock Lesnar to be title holder, so I want Roman to win because, like we said, we get Seth Rollins, we get Miz, all these people win the title.
My mom actually likes Roman Reigns. I
Really?
tell her you're getting manipulated by the WWE because she likes that little whole commercial
she
that he
doesn't
does.
watch
with
it though either.
She-
She's not.
She watches it.
We're not getting She can't get manipulated because she's cheering for a dude that she sees is on top and in a championship match, and she sees Brock Lesnar mace people and beat up the GM.
Hold on.
That's a typical
you
heel.
didn't let me finish though. But she doesn't even want to see this match because she's tired of seeing the same old crap with them. She's like, how many times are we going to get this match? Why can't we see Brock Lesnar face somebody else?
Not only have we, no matter what happens in that main event, we will have seen it before. Whether someone cashes in the Money in the Bank on one of these MFers.
That's a great point.
Damn,
that's a good point.
Bro, we've already seen this stuff. I will watch because I actually do want Roman Reigns to win, finally. Okay, I didn't want him to win the other times because I wanted someone else to take the strap off Brock. But since we're probably not going to get a Brock Rollins match, give Roman the match. I don't know. I figure out a way to win. I don't want the match to last long. I don't really want it to be the main event, but I feel like it probably will, so people will stay and be interested and wait for the potential cash-in. But yeah, Roman Reigns. I think we all agree on that he's gonna win the match.
I guess.
Any last opinions about the SummerSlam pay-per-view or anything like that before we end this baby?
I think as we get closer and closer into the fall, if the WWE doesn't do something to grab me after SummerSlam, then I'm just gonna go off into football season for a month.
All in it for football season, huh?
And then
Until the Panthers aren't in playoff contention anymore, and then
no, until the Cardinals. This is Nick, because Nick's Cardinals are never in
Cardinals
playoff
are better than the
contention.
Panthers this year.
Huh?
The Cardinals are better than the Panthers this year.
That's a lie. We'll talk about it on the Cover 2 podcast, which you can also hear on SoundCloud and YouTube.
All right, so we don't have any other thoughts about SummerSlam?
Jarrett looks like Ricochet.
Damn.
Fair point. He,
He looks like
He does.
Ricochet. Let's be honest. Every time I see
He
Ricochet,
does
I
look
think
like-
Jarrett.
He does look like
Please
Ricochet.
show him a picture.
In which
I will. Yeah.
in which you're going to debate with him in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, it is a couple weeks.
it's coming up, man.
Wow.
I got to start prepping
We
now,
should
man.
play some of that on this podcast too. We should tie it all in.
No, because I can't cuss on there because you're not going to allow
Oh,
us
you're
to
gonna
be-
cuss?
why can't you be entertaining without cussing?
Because I want to cuss.
I do 2 podcasts a week, one uncensored, one censored. Why can't you?
I can, but
No, you can't?
I just feel like
You said the F word twice on the podcast today. We're not even supposed to say
I
that.
said 3 times actually. But look, I just want to be able to actually be free, and I'm not going to be free on OC Rock because I'm going to have the studio.
You
guy,
realize
the
that
person
any
in-
radio job you get that's not on Sirius XM is you not going to be able to say the F word or
Well, you
the
can
other
be
F
creative.
word
There's-
or the
there's-
C word.
There's other ways you can be creative too. I mean, I get it, but still, like we're doing a podcast setting. We're very relaxed here. We can say whatever we want to. Now you got to switch. Now I got to switch gears to OC
Dude,
Rock.
that's a radio show, though. This is a podcast.
But
you turn that into a podcast.
But you turn it into a podcast later on that day. So
Well, that doesn't mean not every podcast is.
We'll see what
uncensored.
happens because sometimes it can get heated there, especially
heated.
once you're in the zone.
And
Like,
Jared's
you know,
ready.
Yeah.
Jared's ready too.
Jared ain't ready for what
I
I'm
didn't
breaking.
think. I think you're not ready for what Jared's gonna bring.
What do you think he's
gonna
gonna bring?
Outschool you on all of the football technical stuff.
On what?
First of all, you don't know football better than Jared.
Really?
I don't know football better.
I got
than
a
Jared.
friend who was playing football.
He's
And I
got
know
a friend.
and I
Jared
know people
played football.
Well, guess what? Why is he not still
We can see
playing
this.
football?
We're gonna hype this
Why
up.
is he still not playing
on
football?
every ring? Well,
if he knew,
should
if
do a
he,
we
if
should-
he knew
Hey,
football
yo,
that well,
Nick.
he would
Tell
still
him
be
you
playing
said
that.
that.
Nick,
Can we
we
tell him I said
we got to
that?
do a promo package for
Yeah,
Jared.
exactly. Sound bites. I will give Jared a rebuttal on the Cover 2 podcast next Wednesday, and I will let you know what he said. We'll tie all the things together, and we'll.
At the end of the day, man, I'm not scared of that man. He's a Cowboys fan. What have the Cowboys done the past 15 years?
The Panthers have never won a Super Bowl, bro.
Don't matter. we're pretty much like an expansion
is getting
team.
good.
Cowboys have been out since 1970 something. Oh,
is
she's
that?
hot.
What is that? Stop it, man. We need to finish the podcast.
Oh, that's Angela Bassett. Good lord, that's what she look. Oh my goodness, she's wow.
Everybody plug their social media. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. No. By the way, shout out to Anibal Santos for the art this week. We almost
My
forget to do
carnal,
that.
my brother.
Eric's blood over there. That's Eric's brother giving us the
carnal.
fantastic new art for this podcast. And we'll be using it on all our platforms, and it's going to be, it's going to be our thing that we use.
Yeah,
and really good art. I loved it.
Yeah, give him a call if you guys need some artwork done as well, and he'll be doing some more artwork maybe in the future for us. So stay tuned.
Instagram Anibal Santos Art. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. You hit
And
him
also
up.
check out his website.
Yeah, check out his website. Fantastic. Anibal, great job. We went through like a million
Thank you, Neil.
versions because all of us was like chiming in, especially me. I was like, hey, don't do this. Dude, can you do this? Can you do this?
Yeah, right. The Arcade Man changed his complete opinion about it halfway through.
Arc Jim, what did your brother say about the drawing that?
Oh, he loved it. He was telling me what to add in there.
Shout out to Donald.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Donald.
for feedback as well.
Yeah, shout out to Donald for getting feedback.
He actually commented on my page. If you actually look at it,
I have
on my
heard
Instagram.
nothing but good thing. All the people, I had people just text me out of the blue and go, "Dude, this is dope. This
Yeah,
is
same
cool."
from my
Like
friends
people
too.
are wrestling fans or aren't wrestling
No,
fans?
not wrestling fans.
Not
They
wrestling.
just thought,
same
yeah,
here for
exactly.
us.
So.
Yeah. Even non-wrestling fans, they even like the drawing.
But it's just cool. It's
Yeah.
great. Animal, shout out. If
Thank
you want
you,
to come
Neil.
on the podcast too, you can talk about it on the podcast next time if you want to.
And also, if you go to Saddleback College, we gonna have some stuff up there for you.
Yeah.
we
Check
gonna
it
be
out.
all up over this place in Saddleback. So we want you to spread the word. If you're already listening, spread the word. Okay, those are the people I know. Listen to the Ring Generals. Okay, and for those of you guys out there going to school for your first week, talk to that hot girl in class because as you go on throughout the semester, your chances get lower
Shoot
and
your
lower
shot.
and lower. Okay, so shoot your shot. Starting this week, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be shoot my shot all this week.
and ladies, shoot your shot with the guys in
Shoot your
class
shot.
too.
Shoot your shot with the
We
guys.
need to have a
man.
woman on this podcast. We can't.
Oh, yeah, we
and
gotta
we're
do
just
it.
guying it up and
Let's get Carmella
penising
here.
it up.
I
and
know
on
that's
this
what I'm about to
podcast
say. He's
all
like,
the
y'all
time.
need one hot chick and she'll bring all the listeners.
Hey,
Like,
Arc Jim, we'll get Carmella in here.
dude, when I get Carmella in here, like that's when the podcast is gonna be legit.
Why is it going to be legit if Carmella gets in here?
Because I'm gonna shoot my shot.
Oh.
I'll shoot my
All
shot.
right, that's a good way to end the
I
podcast.
shoot my shot, man.
I'm Nick Nenad.
I am Eric Santos.
And I'm the RKJ man, and raise a glass in the sky and salute the Ring Generals.